Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 411. Got a special guest tonight. Figured it was time. Had to after what happened this week and what one of the big topics is for us. Of course, we have Jake Randall, who's been probably awake more than he's been asleep over the past 3 days.
That is accurate.
By quite a bit. How's it going over there? You tired?
I'm pretty tired, but I got a pretty great nap. Oh, whoops! I had the stream audio on.
Oh, you're good.
No, but I had a pretty good nap like going into today, and it worked out perfectly because Walmart went live for like 8 hours, and I was awake for it, so I could stay on top of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, you were. Whenever I looked over, the pre-orders were up. Jake Randall's streaming. it's happening. So he kept everyone plugged in on that. So it looked kind of crazy over there, though, I will say. The amount of people in there, how many your whole like screen was just covered in like 8 windows. How you do all that? Keep track.
Well, yeah, because they were all going at the same time. Normally, like the last couple years of restocks, I could focus on one retailer at a time. Mm-hmm. But when Target, Best Buy, Walmart all decided to go at the same time, it's a little hectic.
Josie Woe's here. Just came in right at the buzzer. Josie, how's it going?
Yep. Good. Happy to be here. I just came from a set, so tired.
Okay, fancy.
Yeah, that's why I haven't been on. It's been bad timing, like every single time. So
set, interesting. Is that for a project you haven't announced yet, or?
It's just like stuff around here. Like I just do sound and stuff usually.
Oh,
and
that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. You know, I did see your video that you posted. You vlogged you getting a Switch 2.
That video.
I think her Wi-Fi gave up.
Oh no.
Her Wi-Fi gave up. Well, she's here in spirit now in a still frame.
Josie, you're
the
frozen.
Ghost of Josie passed.
Whoa, bro.
It's just a dramatic pause. She's getting to it.
Every time.
Hold on, Josie, we'll come back to you. OJ, what's up?
What is up?
OJ's here. That was a Claire Obscure background now.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, Josie will be back. She'll be back. How'd the pre-show go, OJ?
Went really good. Sorry about that. Getting in a little bit later. It's like I deleted all my settings on my browser, so I had to re-input everything. So that's actually the reason why I have a new background because I couldn't find my other ones like fast enough. So, but no, but actually, I like the game too a lot. We're gonna be talking about it. So,
I don't know if Josie's here or not. She's kind of here.
Can you
ghetto internet?
I can hear you.
Is it? But no photo.
No photo.
We can't see you.
Or no video.
We'll just assume you're there.
I'll do that.
Yeah, there she is. Kind of. There you go. That's fine.
I'll be here.
Hey, if it works, it works. It's all good. And Celia.
Hi. Happy Saturday. I think it's Sleepy Cast because I'm tired too. Not for your guys' reasons. I got my hair re-dyed today, and so I was in the chair for like 3.5 hours. So I'm tired for that reason. Yeah, we went back to dark.
And what about Evan? How are you doing over there, Evan?
Just doing.
You didn't get your hair re-dyed for 3 hours?
Yeah, I have a lot of hair. Okay, like it's a lot.
I was talking to Evan.
Sorry.
I gotta avoid it because nothing makes me more tired than sitting in a chair for 3 hours.
Okay, it's a lot. Okay.
Evan seems like the type of person like if you made him do that, like somebody's getting murdered. Like he would just kill someone if he had to do something like that. Look at him. He's like, yeah, damn right.
It's an enjoyable thought.
Yeah, it was a week. My gosh, a lot of stuff happened this week. A lot of good stuff for the most part. Got 2 big releases and then switched 2 pre-orders that were going crazy. People thought it would be quiet. So everyone was mad at the system, and then it showed up and sold out very quickly. So
Jake had like 100,000 people on his stream trying to get it.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's going crazy over there. So a lot to discuss there. First, though, with the Switch 2 pre-orders, we'll start there with our overall thoughts on the matter. I also had the mailbag up over on the Patreon still, which I'll go through those questions as well as we go through, along with any super chats that come in. But Switch 2 pre-order situation, it was something. These went live. What was that, Jake? It was on Wednesday to Thursday.
So yeah, Wednesday going into Thursday. midnight Eastern. But of course, it didn't quite go according to plan.
No, it didn't, because I mean, when I was sitting here waiting like everyone else, some people were streaming. OJ was streaming. I saw that. And people were just struggling because everything crashed. It's like as soon as they ticked over to midnight, everything just stopped working. I heard that the Walmart app was barely working as well, like just in general.
Walmart worked well for me. I helped my place
Walmart
in
went
line
live
and I got it
early, actually, too. Their queue system started at 11:58, which was you were streaming too, right, OJ?
Yeah, and I had everything open, and I was saying people were talking about your stream. I was like, yeah, Jake's letting people. So I was trying to say, hey, look, if you can't get it from here, go to Jake's stream, check out, because I know he's gonna help people. And I had everything open, and Best Buy was being ghetto as hell. They delayed it to 30 minutes. Target
it was over 30 minutes for sure.
Yeah, Target was whack. Walmart was the only one that worked for me properly. And like Jake said, 2 minutes early, they're like, oh, hold my place in line. It held my place in line. I waited for a bit. I checked out. I even fumbled a bit around, trying to they wouldn't take my card. I had to do PayPal. And then I got it. And then there was no wait for accessories. I got the camera and I got the Pro Controller, no problem at Walmart. Best Buy had me in queues and lines and ended up just saying we're all sold out for hours. It was terrible. And Target, I had it in my cart and it wouldn't let me add my credit card. It kept on saying your credit card's not this and that, and then ended up just not letting me get it. So I'm like, man, everything kind of just went to hell.
Yeah, I think that going forward, Walmart is kind of going to be the GOAT for a while because they finally invested in having a much better system. And I think, I was saying to these guys right before we started, it's just a theory, but I think they got most of the stock that would have been allocated to Amazon.
Yeah.
Because Amazon US is not going to get any. Nintendo did officially put their authorized retailers for pre-orders on their website. And it's just those 4 that went live, those 4 big ones. So I think Walmart's going to continue to be pretty good. I mean, for the queue system, I was waiting for 45 minutes and I didn't refresh. I didn't play around with it. That's one of my tips. And sure enough, I got through and placed the order. And then sure enough, today, they must have done cancellations of duplicate orders or, cancellations from people who they didn't have enough payment for the hold. And they were in stock for 8 hours today.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, but Target's going to be way better on launch day because on launch day, they'll do in-store pickup, which they're not going to do for pre-orders. It's just their policy. But when they do in-store pickup, it's they get scooped up by the bots so easily when it's shipping from Target because there's no queue system. But on launch day, right at sometime after midnight, I'll be streaming them too, but they'll have a restock for in-store pickup, and that'll be much, much easier.
Okay.
Rebecca says, can we get some W's in the chat for Jake? I mean, if Jake helped, especially if he helped you get a Switch 2 or PS5 or anything like that, you got to drop a W in the chat then. Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Big W.
Blaze 4K coming in with the 10. Shout out to Blaze 4K. It's good to see him come through. And then Christopher says $2 to Josie upgrading your internet next month. Josie, you went to GameStop. You actually went up. She's going to GameStop again.
She's going to GameStop.
She's out. That was quick.
She's camping out at
the
GameStop.
Money came too late.
I ended up getting the Switch that I got for myself. I got through Best Buy. So for some reason I just had the app was just open on my phone off to the side, and I look over and it popped up and was like, "Yo, verify your account by punching in some numbers that we're going to text you." I said okay, and then after that, it kicked me through to a shopping cart with the Switch 2 in there and just checked out.
Hey, John, out of curiosity, are you a Best Buy Plus member?
No, I'm just signed up normally. I'm not like a
Plus
member
cool.
in there. Yeah. So
they seem to be
through.
Favoring, or there was some kind of bias towards Plus members. I noticed I didn't see many Plus members who didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm just signed up normally there. I did have the mobile app was open for 40 some odd minutes. Is sitting on that little line page forever.
Did you get the Mario Kart bundle or?
I got the Mario Kart bundle, and then I also got the regular Switch just with the Mario Kart game. So I have 2 Switch 2s. One's coming from Walmart. So I guess that's 9 a.m. Best Buy I'm gonna go do at midnight, and then just one of them's just going through the ringer, coming apart, doing all that stuff. And then if it goes
Yeah.
back together, fine, then the kids can use it. So that's the plan. But I started thinking about it. I said, maybe having people are so curious about these game cards with like Mario Kart World. Thought maybe that actually wouldn't be a bad idea to look into that and see what's going on, like cut open the game card and see what's going on in there. You can put them together fine, but like just pop it open. People are just so interested in like why are some of these game keys a thing? Why is Nintendo are they using 64 gig cards for everything? There's so much curiosity around it. I figure, you know what? I'll get the game physically and I'll pop it open and we'll find out.
Question, John. Can you tell how much the size of the card is by popping it open? Like you'll be able to tell?
Generally,
Depends
there's
on what's
markings
written
on the
chips,
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually there's markings and identifiers because I think
Okay.
Macronix is doing it, and you can go on their website and they'll have like data sheets and you can just line it all up. So that's pretty like that's what I did with Tears of the Kingdom. People are curious about that cart size, and I cut it open and looked inside, and we got that figured out.
Okay.
For like the 32 gig card that they used. So that's pretty much the plan there. I figured, you know what, I'll get the bundle because I don't know, Jake, were people not going for the bundle pre-orders? Like if you had multiple things thrown in there, because that's the one that kicked through for me on Best Buy.
You mean like the regular Mario Kart bundle or the Best Buy's custom bundles?
It was Best Buy's like custom bundle. It was the Switch 2 and then a copy of Mario Kart with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so people did go to those and find like different amounts of success, but what was weird is those weren't in Best Buy's system as different SKUs. They were just pre-bundled ways that if you wanted some accessories, you could get them. Because like when the base console sold out for the Switch 2, all of the bundles sold out as well. They weren't like separate allocations. And same thing for the Mario Kart bundle. Anything that was bundled with that, when the Mario Kart bundle sold out, they all sold out at the same time.
Okay, got it. What about Celia? You get a Switch 2? You get a pre-order in?
I strongly considered it and was like, I'll get one eventually. So
you
I
can
just
win one.
didn't-
Just
You can,
You
yeah,
know
you can
what?
win one. Yeah.
I can win one. Okay, next
Prime
fall,
is giving
gonna
away
win
like
one.
10.
Oh, what? No.
Nintendo
Oh.
Prime. Yeah, he's got
Oh,
like
really?
4.
10 of them? Okay.
No, not 10.
interesting.
4.
Well, yeah,
Four,
yeah,
okay.
4.
4.
He got 6, and he's
Oh,
giving
is
away
he
4. I think.
actually? I thought you guys were kidding.
No, he's
Wait,
giving
how
away
do-
a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna go look that up.
Celia's about to start entering some drawings there.
Okay, I like to enter contests. And for anyone who doesn't have context, I have won my PS4. I won my Nintendo 64. I won my SNES. So yeah, I have a pretty
Lucky.
good winning streak for
Yeah.
these things. So why not Switch 2? I don't know. We'll see. I'll
Mhm.
probably just cape and buy one. But we'll see.
You think what is there like a release that they'd have to announce that would make you immediately have to start like searching for one?
Nintendogs? No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
It would have to be like a new Zelda,
Okay.
or like a new Mario game, or something that's like a console seller for
don't
me
think
that I
they'll make-
have to play.
They won't make a new Mario game. I don't think that's coming.
Probably not ever. I guess I'm not
Never-
getting it. No, I'm
never
kidding.
Yeah.
just all
They're like they
remakes from
announced
here on out.
their next tweet is Mario is dead. They'll release that actually like on the app. That's
Mario's dead. No more Mario.
can't wait for that. But yeah, eventually I'll get one. Probably when I start getting FOMO and everyone else has their super
What about-
cool Switch 2s.
What about like the next Pokemon game? Would that do it?
It'd have to be a mainline. Like, I don't think I would buy a Switch for a ZA. No offense to ZA. I am very excited about it, but I don't think I would get one for that.
Like next year, holiday 2026, new mainline
I'll-
Pokemon game.
I'll probably get it way before then. I'll probably win it before then, just throwing that out into the universe.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think it'll look good, or it'll still be a hot mess?
Oh,
I think it'll still not look good, but it'll run better. I think they're just
It'll
gonna
run
take-
better.
Yeah, it'll just run
Do you
better.
like
But I don't
think
think
less
it's
it'll
gonna
of
be
a
on
hot
Switch
mess.
1 too?
Huh?
Do you think the next Pokemon game will be also on Switch 1?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
I think they're gonna do that clean break to try to get this install size going. I think Nintendo is gonna be real aggressive in the first like 2 years
I
to
hope
get
so,
a
yeah.
bunch of these systems out there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Josie's back.
Josie
Did
might
you
actually
see
be
me?
You're
listening
back.
to you.
Yay.
Yes. All right. we'll see
Josie,
how
you
long
went to
this lasts.
GameStop,
I did.
so we tried to figure out who got the Switch 2 pre-orders in. Celia's like she's still she's not on the fence, but still kind of just hanging out right now, waiting for the chance to win one.
Yeah,
or
we'll see.
eventually cave and buy one.
More likely a chance, to be honest.
Yeah. So Josie, you went to GameStop. You know how I know this because I saw your video. It popped up in the recommended of you vlogging. And it's the first time I've had an HDR video pop up on my MacBook Pro. So you filmed that with an iPhone, I assume.
Yeah. The whole I need my actual video will be better eventually, but yeah, it was not great. And then also on the export, it was broken, so part of the footage was super fucked up. It was bad.
It was, but when it came up, my entire screen dimmed except for that one square. And I guess you were in a car or something, and the light just it went to maximum brightness in a dim room, and it just lit up the entire room for the HDR.
Yeah,
video.
I'll take my little SLR next time. I just didn't even think about it until I was in there, and I was like, well, I'll make a video.
I mean, it worked out. It was good. It seemed like the video was did well. So
yeah,
we got a kick out of, I guess, you vlogging.
I had to
go
delete
GameStop.
it and re-upload it. So yeah, my first video was bad.
How'd it go at GameStop for you?
It was good. I mean, honestly, it wasn't that busy, and I got there an hour and a half early because I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to get one, but there was 7 people ahead of me in line. It was pretty chill. And then, yeah, I mean, the only thing weird that happened is the guy right in front of me in line was dead set on the fact that Mario Kart World was $90. And he was I was like, oh, he wouldn't listen to me.
Did you get that in the video?
No, no. I should have, but
he was looking at Insider Gaming, bro. He was
dude, it was weird. And I was like, oh, I don't think so. And he's like, no, yeah, you don't really know, but it's okay because it is $90. And I was like,
why don't you bet on money?
And I was like, no, I do know. It's sort of my part-time job.
So should have put up some money.
Yeah, take that whole thing and understand that is a bit more of a common person purchasing. So that you're looking at that as a kind of just generalized person. So
I don't know if he was a common person though.
You were one of the first people there. To be number 7, he was ahead of you. It's kind of not so casual. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I think he was low-key a scalper because he was talking about how he secured a bunch of other systems from all the websites, and I was like, bro is a scalper right now.
Yeah, it sounds like a scalper to me.
Yeah. And he was low-key a little asshole, but then something was off about him too, and I was like, I'm just not gonna engage.
So did he find out that it was not 90 when he went in?
No, because they were taking us one at a time, and he went in to get the bundle, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna save myself 40 fucking bucks by getting this bundle. And I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, do save not 40, but you do save money, so that's good. That was weird.
He sounds like someone that only drinks energy drinks. He don't drink water or nothing else. He only drinks Monster.
Yeah,
not even sugar free.
Coated.
Yeah, not even sugar free, just a straight up Monster.
I didn't get really anything else. I gotta still figure out what kind of accessories I should get for this thing.
I
the Pro Controller?
The last camera that they had.
You're gonna get the webcam.
I got a camera.
You got the camera.
I got the camera.
I will get the Pro Controller.
Yeah,
I'll do a Spawncast on that camera.
Oh my god, we should. Well, my camera probably actually already looks like
it's a USB-C camera. Technically, you could. Yeah, I probably. I don't know. Should I get the camera? I need Don Matrick to sell it to me.
You guys saw the Piranha Plant camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mod that one to 1080p.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure the only reason that it's 480p is Nintendo's doing one of those things where they make their third parties have less features than their first party accessories. So just how they people that have third party Joy-Cons, if they're licensed, they're not allowed to have any rumble. They make their official third parties nerf some of their stuff. So I'm 90% sure that's the reason why.
Really?
So Jake, what's with this $20 mouse accessory? Bowser's bringing. I saw you message put up something on Twitter about that.
Yeah. So I went into my local GameStop after my second stream on the pre-order day, and they still had 20 Switch 2s. They had been open for 3 hours, which was crazy. That was the way to go for the pre-orders, which is go to GameStop. But they gave me the list of all the SKUs for the accessories, and I saw it just said Joy-Con mouse shell, and I was like, what is that? And he's like, it's funny, everyone keeps asking that, and I don't know. It's in our system, but we don't have a picture. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'll do it. It was $20. My theory is it's like the racing wheels, like it's a really probably like a garbage accessory, but maybe it makes it a little better. I don't know. But the image I put on Twitter was just a fan render. We have no idea like what it's actually going to look like. But if you use the SKU from my receipt, anyone can pre-order it at their GameStop.
Oh, interesting. I assume it's just going to be a shell that the Joy-Con slides into, and it's
Yeah,
just,
it could just be
kind
a
of a mouse
stand
pad.
with more of a flat bottom, so it doesn't
Yeah.
like roll left or right as easily.
Yeah, that's what the render kind of was. There was also an actual listing on Amazon, some like Chinese company that had them as well, and they were more like round, but also still in a mouse shape. It's hard to describe.
Because they can't really cover the buttons. You're supposed to still be able to click them.
Well, how would you account for the
easily accessible?
I'm trying to picture this because that'd be left and right hand.
The Amazon ones, I can probably send you a picture.
Okay, just tuned back in. I entered the contest. So that's what I was doing.
With all of your sock accounts? Damn.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll be back. No, I'm kidding. Okay, yeah, I would we were talking about third parties, like for the which accessory? Sorry, I want to be back this convo because we're talking about third party stuff.
There's a mouse accessory for the Switch 2 that Jake Randall spotted in the GameStop inventory, but we don't know what it looks like. And I was just asking about the left or right-handed nature to that.
If it's rounded just for the palm and then it leaves the top bit open, it could just go right or left at that point. Shouldn't be a big deal.
So I would, if it's a third party accessory that's non-licensed, I would wait a little bit till like the run comes out to see how that works, because unless the factory that they source that from had like, you know, the blueprint, schematics, whatever you want to call it for that accessory, they're just guesstimating and hoping for the best. So yeah, just something to acknowledge for third party if it's not licensed.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get I think the Pro Controller is the obvious move.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. I mean, the camera, maybe. I don't know. Apparently that was kind of limited. So maybe just in that sense, because it's limited and people are interested in it, might be worth picking up. But I think those are the two main accessories.
I sent you the picture of the mouse shell that's on Amazon, by the way.
Oh, that does look weird. That's on Amazon. That's like
that's actually
like a third party.
Yeah, rendering? It's sold out already.
Oh, jeez, it's sold out
That's
already.
bizarre.
Metroid Prime 4, man. People are going to be using that for Metroid Prime.
Drag
4.
X Drive, man. Come on.
Dude.
That's
I got to buy two of them. So
I only got the camera though,
it
because
is
like
two of them.
like for my brother, like for us to play games, like because I know he's gonna want like to play and like his daughter. So yeah, that's what I just got it. But I'm not gonna really be using it a ton. Just gonna use it for.
That's what it looks like right there. That's the image.
That's so weird.
It makes it a bit better, more comfortable. It looks like, right?
yeah, so it's just the
it
palm
needs
part,
more
so you'll be able to
area.
rest your palm easily, and it won't roll left or right as easily.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I figured it'd be that, and I'm surprised we haven't seen anything pop up about a mouse pad yet. As basic as that sounds, someone will just brand one and put it out there.
I was thinking
They will.
Nintendo included that with some games. Like, you know how they gave like that little pouch if you pre-ordered Mario Golf? They throw in stuff like that sometimes, just like little goodies for certain pre-orders through certain retailers. I thought a mouse pad would just be like a great thing to put with Metroid Prime 4.
That would be
especially if it's like a solid, not even a cloth mouse pad, but like a solid plastic one, like they had with the Super Nintendo back in the day.
Yeah, the plastic based one.
Yeah, I mean, they could do a special edition one with Metroid Prime Beyond. Everyone wants a custom console. They just give us custom mouse pad. That'll work.
That would be very Nintendo of them.
It kind of would. What about games? What games? Did anyone pre-order any games for the system?
Just Mario Kart World.
I just got Mario Kart World because there's no point. Like, near launch, I'll figure out what I want and then I'll go from there. So there's no point in like pre-ordering a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, That's the other situation where I have to buy a game key game, so I gotta figure out which one of those I want. So I cut that open to see what's going on in there. I figured I get Cyberpunk.
That's not a game key game though.
No, just like in general, just games in general. Like I need one game key game, so it might end up being the Bravely Default game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's
it's
interesting
probably,
to me.
I think that's the most popular game that's on a game key.
Yeah, so probably that, and then just in terms of games in general, I mean Mario Kart's already showing up, so maybe Cyberpunk.
I think it's the cheapest one too. So if you just want a game key, the Bravely Default's like 40, so it's probably the cheapest one.
So weird to me that they made
EA is
the
using
game
codes in a box and won't even use the game keys?
Yeah, Split Fiction.
Yeah,
but I saw the files. That game is 71 gigabytes.
Yeah,
dude, it's bigger than Cyberpunk by like
it is, yeah,
by like 10 gigabytes.
Yeah,
it's crazy. 10 gigabytes plus. What the heck?
I mean, while we're talking about the games, the game keys took over again this week because with the pre-orders, a bunch of images started going up, especially in Japan. It seemed like it was like real bad there with these game keys. In the US, we do have like Marvelous, strangely enough, is releasing games on 64 gigabyte carts. Although I will say Rune Factory is a $70 game. So maybe that. And then I assume they're going to have Daemon X Machina also at 70. Maybe they're taking advantage of like the slight markup from 60 to 70 with this jump for the generation to, I guess, offset that 64 gig cart. But the game key is people are putting together pie charts. It's good when that's happening. And half of the games are game keys at this point for the Switch 2, from what we've seen.
Jesus.
That's that's kind of sad, to be honest. That's
man.
I know that the game key is better than the code in a box, but it's still like I notice a lot of people look at that game key and they just go, it doesn't feel right. There's something off about this thing. Even though technically it's a one-time download and you pop the game in, it's throwing a lot of people off. Like it does not seem that desirable to buy a game key.
Which is kind of funny because that's been in disc-based gaming for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of weird for people to have it through like Nintendo and cartridges.
Well, I think the problem that I see is that for a lot of like PS5 games, you can still play the game right off of there. Now with Xbox Series X, depending on if it's like smart delivery, you have to download. So there's a lot of discs that are actually like you have to download it off the internet for Xbox Series. But for PS5 in particular, that has a lot of games that just boot up off of the PS5, so you don't have to worry about it download. Although this experience, like if you don't download the updates and all that, right, it's not going to be as good of an experience. Like there's a lot of bug fixes and glitches and whatever that have been fixing them, but you can still play it. So if servers go offline or whatever the case, the game is perfectly playable without the internet. And I think that's where some of my concern is, and also what people with the game key stuff. I also think it's something that people think it's kind of new, but it's not, because it was on the Nintendo Switch 1. The difference though with Switch 1 is that Switch 1, they nuked the textures and the resolution, so they were able to get more games in 16 gigabytes or whatever, smaller. But the problem with Switch 2 is that it does 4K, right? It's like the audio quality is better, so you're going to get these massive games, and there's not every developer's not going to pay for a cartridge on that, or it's going to be like potentially, or you're just going to get a digital only game, but they still want shelf space. So the problem is like it might be like the N64 era where people are like, we're not paying for those carts, like it costs too much. We're not paying for those. So it's just kind of like an unfortunate circumstance, all things around. But I don't like the game keys. I'm not going to be buying a ton of them. I don't know I don't even know how many I'm even going to buy at the start. So I don't think I'm going to buy much. But yeah, I can see what Jake's saying. But then again, like at the same time, I can see I don't really like, that as well. Like having to use the internet, even though it operates like a physical game, right? You only have to use it once to do that. And you can buy and sell them and trade them or whatever, right? Like, but still,
How big of a
they were pretty rare, but there was like a couple Switch 1 games that were pure game keys. I remember the only one that I know personally that I can name is the BioShock collection.
Didn't that have one of them on it, and then the rest were downloaded?
No, I don't think it had the full on there. I think with BioShock, it was an 8 gigabyte cartridge, and you still just needed to download. Like you can't play the game. So BioShock, I think Borderlands, some of them do have like one game on there, but a lot of them it's essentially a game key because there's so little space that they actually have on there, and you're going to need to download the rest of the games anyway.
Yeah.
So
you
Switch
guys
One
might be right. I
actually-
think there was one on there, but if I
Yeah.
took that card and put it in a different Switch, I could then download 2 and 3 on that Switch, and as long as the cartridge is in there, it would work.
Yeah. But I mean, Switch One had it, but it, like I said, it wasn't as prevalent and as like it was just different because once again, a lot of the Switch One games, you know, the resolutions and textures were maybe 720p or the audio quality was way off, like the Dark Souls game, right? They had to do all sorts of weird things to make that fit on the cartridge, like in terms of the audio quality and stuff like that. Whereas with Switch 2, they're not doing that. So the file sizes are massive compared to Switch 1 games. Like compared to third-party Switch 1 and Switch 2, it's like the file sizes are way bigger. Like I don't think there's a singular game on Switch 1 that's even anywhere near 71 gigabytes that I can think of. Now, multiple games, yes, but singular one game, I don't think there's a single one.
Well, how big was the Witcher 3?
That was on a 32 gigabyte cartridge.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, new textures, right? Like texture quality, like everything. Like, compared to Xbox and PlayStation, it's like it's clear that they had to make sacrifices to even get that on a 32 gigabyte cartridge. And on top of that, damn near nobody even used the 32 gigabyte cartridge. Even when they like a lot of developers didn't even use it, even though it was available, but it's expensive. So I mean, that's the issue that we're dealing with right now, which it sucks. I wish that there was a way to get those cartridges cheaper, but still be really good, fast, and efficient like they are, you know?
Josie,
hate this. Sorry.
Oh, Josie, you were trying to get in there before. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just like, how big of a game is Bravely Default?
That one's
like
tiny.
11
See,
gigs
that's
or
so
something like that.
stupid to me that is what they chose to.
Square Enix is being. Some developers are being cheap. Square Enix, in particular, with that game, they're being cheap because I don't know. Maybe they think that it's not going to sell well, but they're specifically with that game, they're being cheap. Although we need to see what sizes there are. Like because like there is that rumor. I think John, did you cover that in Newswave? I don't.
Yeah, there's a rumor that they're limited in sizes.
But it just seems unfathomable that they would have only 8 and 64. So Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's a 10 gigabyte game. So they're putting that on a 64 gigabyte cartridge. That just seems like no way, right? That doesn't seem like that's even
beyond the cheapness, there is a little bit of control to it too. Like a lot of people, when games get moved up to new systems, it's like, oh, it's too expensive, I'll just play the old one. No, shut the servers down. You're not playing the old one anymore, so you're gonna have to buy the new one.
I was gonna touch on that. I really hate this timeline, like legitimately. Like I know, like
horrible.
It is beneficial, you know, for the developer side of things. It makes things even easier, makes things a bit cheaper. But for game preservation, like majority of my collection is considered retro gaming now, and I like going back and playing my old games. And the fact that a lot of those carts are going to be technically paperweights because you can't get on the servers is scary because, you know, you won't be able to play your old games. And like, sure, right now we have the idea of, oh, you can still lend it to your friends. But once the servers go down, no, you can't. So it's just something on the shelf.
That's gonna be great for reselling companies too when they just have massive backlogs of them.
If you download the game, you'll still be able to play the game.
Yeah, but if I lend it to my friend who has never played it before and the servers are down, they can't play it.
They can't. Yes, you're right about that.
Yeah,
but
or
some
what if
people
my
thought that it was
breaks?
Some people thought it was a constant connection, that you need a constant connection for it. And that's not it. Yeah. But like what I care about is the future, or like, you know, let's say that like, you know, my Switch 2 breaks and I have to go rebuy it like another one, and then I can't access it for some whatever reason. It's not connected to my Nintendo account or something weird happens. I don't know. I hate this. This sucks.
You know which release is really weird? We're talking about Bravely Default. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S is a game key card. And on the front of the box, so if you look at the bottom on these game keys, they'll tell you how much space you need to download the game with the game key. It says 4 gigabytes on the front for 2S. So I have no idea what the deal is. I know it's a $40 game, so they're like, oh, it's not the 60 or 70. I have no idea what that's about. It's so weird that is there no 8 gig card they could put it on? They just don't want to put it on that.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because Bravely Default is also a $40 game. I wonder if it's that price point, developers are inclined to just go with the key card.
Yeah, it's got to be that, because you think about it, for third parties, they got that 30% royalty on top, and they still have to do packaging, shipping. Maybe they're looking at it saying, you know what, the game key is just it's significantly cheaper, or it's just 50% cheaper or something. We'll say, and it's like, okay, that makes sense for us. That is weird though. When you see a game that small and they couldn't find a 4 GB card or 8 GB card to put it on, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
the game key thing is
I dislike
is not great.
that. Yeah, I don't like it at all, especially the Bravely Default. I wish like there was a way, but that's why the teardown is going to be important, right? When you get the teardown of some of those games and seeing what sizes are available and just seeing what developers do, like going forward. But yeah, I don't like it at all, man.
It's also like the oh, sorry, John.
Go ahead, Jake. You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, the appeal of those cards, right, is that you can share them between your own systems or with friends. But now that appeal's kind of gone because it's basically like a digital game, but without the convenience. You still have to have that with you because now you can share your digital games with your friends. So there's like not much benefit to the card now.
Oh, now you bring that up, Jake. That update I think is going to happen Monday or Tuesday for Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, game sharing?
Yeah, I think they're going to have that go live either Monday or Tuesday for the Switch. So we'll actually be able to see how that works in practice soon. But you're right. The digital that's the thing. Convenience. Eventually people will choose convenience over anything else. And that is where I'd be looking at this going, will the mainstream realize until after they buy the first game key and go, okay, no, I have to download this whole thing? Or is that something apparently Josie's dealing with somebody with a $90 Mario Kart World in front of her at line that people are finding out online themselves. I'm sure some people think every game on the Switch 2 right now is a game key, and it's just mixed messaging again for this. But you know what it is about the game key, and I thought about this a little bit. It sort of removes one of the things that made the Switch so different from all these other systems around it, because it was that legitimate pick up and play system of you buy the game and you put it in the system and it immediately works. There wasn't, hey, we got to install this thing for 30 minutes from a Blu-ray disc. It was just right away. Whereas now, I guess when you put Street Fighter 6 in, it's going to say, hey, there's a 50 gigabyte download that has to happen, plus whatever the day one patch is. So it kind of eliminates one of the big advantages that the Switch had. So that's the thing that sticks out to me. And that 256 gigabytes on board all of a sudden feels much smaller if you're still downloading these games.
If you're downloading Split Fiction and all that. Thankfully, Nintendo's games are all on carts for the most part, So if you're playing Nintendo's first party games, you're set. For like if you're buying them physical, at least. When it comes to like some of the third party, like we said, like Daemon X Machina, that's awesome because that's a game that I'm actually looking forward to, and I'm willing to actually drop the 70 for that game because that game's awesome. So that's cool that they're gonna have that, but here in the US. So, and I don't know what's up with Marvelous. They're ponying up the money for the game. So for the actual cards, so that's awesome. But we'll see what other developers do that. I think that if these don't do well, I think there's definitely an opportunity that more developers, or if something like with the production line speeds up or gets better, I think there's a chance that more developers will actually opt for that if people don't buy the game keys. So
it's probably going to be a marketing point. Like if mainstream tends to notice that more, having the full game on the cartridge, a lot of people will advertise that.
They already started. Marvelous. Did you see what Marvelous said?
I didn't. What did they say?
They said they're like, hey, look, there's some confusion about it. All of our games that we're doing, like the 3 games that they have, the Story of Seasons, the Daemon X Machina, and the what's the other game that they have? They have Rune Factory. They said that, hey, these are all on cartridge, fully. They already put that on Twitter.
Nice.
So they're already starting to put like, hey, look, we're doing this all on cartridge.
Well, check this out, Celia.
I like that.
This is the Cyberpunk. This is one of the slides at Walmart for the game, right? And then if you zoom in here and you look at the cartridge, how often do you see something advertised at Walmart as a 64 gigabyte game card?
It's beginning.
That box art on the red case looks so cool.
They also stated on Twitter too. They're like, "Hey, look, our team worked really hard on this. We have so their team members are already kind of chipping in, saying, "Hey, look, we worked hard on it. It's on the game card." As people are, not liking game keys. So I think that definitely more people might gravitate towards Cyberpunk or gravitate towards Nintendo's first party games, but towards Cyberpunk, towards Daemon X Machina, towards Rune Factory. The games that actually have game key cards. But I think that I don't know, man. I think that there might be a large number of people that just say, screw it, I'm going digital. I'm just gonna go all digital.
I mean, it's already what 50% doing that anyway.
I don't know how much. I think the Switch, it's either, I think it's like 60-40 or 50-50. I'm not exactly. I don't remember exactly Nintendo's last numbers.
It's been creeping up like every other year. It ticks up a little more. And like if you look at PlayStation or Xbox got to be over 90% digital at this point. It might be more. And PlayStation continues to tick up as well. So I do kind of think right now this generation for Nintendo, because it's going to run for, we'll say 8 years to 2033. I wouldn't be shocked if by then the next system is just digital only, and just because the market went that way.
I hate this timeline.
I'm
so mad. Like, I'm so mad. I love physical, and
me too.
It'll always exist as long as the Japanese market likes it, but we might not get those games over here. Boo.
Oh yeah, I wonder how that market will respond to game keys, because it seems like in Japan all these games are game keys right now.
Yeah, someone in chat said Daemon X Machina was a game key in Japan.
In Japan it is, but here in the US it's not. I think they're gonna be pissed, but I think they're still just gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah, because it's still technically physical, so I feel like it'll still appeal to the market that likes that. But I hate this. I'm just gonna be old man yells at cloud, I think, this entire stream.
Okay, that's fine. You can be fluid. It's okay. Old man.
And technically true, since it's the downloading from the cloud, so it all works out.
Yeah.
Old man yells at cloud while it downloads my game.
We'll find out more as we get into Switch 2 release in June. Hey, Jake, you ever think this entire retail thing is ever going to get figured out? I feel like every launch we go through this, by the way, before we move on.
I mean, here's the problem is that there's no incentive for the retailers to really fix anything, because on their end, it's just like, it's going to sell out. Like, it might, however it happens, no matter what we do, it's going to, people are going to get through eventually, and it's going to sell out. So there's really no incentive. But if you look at like Amazon, who got blacklisted by Nintendo, which who knows why that was, but they were definitely one of the ones with PS5 that were the most easily botted, because they put their entire nationwide inventory in one pool. They didn't really separate it up by region. They obviously couldn't separate it up for store pickup because they don't really have any. And Nintendo, so Nintendo wasn't going to work with them. And hopefully that's a really good thing that Nintendo did, because it sends a message to everyone else. And then you look at Walmart, who their system has improved, and it's good publicity for these companies when they do stuff like that. Best Buy announced the midnight launch, and people were super happy about it. But I think people respond even more when retailers do things to try to make it easier. Walmart didn't implement a queue system until like 2022. So I think when the initial supply is never going to be able to satisfy the demand, right? There's never going to be 100 million consoles ready for launch day. So I think it's always going to kind of be a thing, but I think it can get better for sure. I just don't know when that'll be.
Okay. Well, we'll see, I guess, with the next launch that we're probably going to have the same conversation again anyway.
It's never going to, let's just be real here. Jake's being nice. Jake, just tell us the truth. We all know it's never going to get better, because you have a million people trying to all do something at one time. Until internet infrastructure and everything is locked down and they care, which there's no way that you're getting a billion people all clicking at one thing at a time.
And the best part is when they're a little annoyed, they click refresh and just DDoS the server manually.
Yeah, I mean, if everywhere did a lottery like what Nintendo's doing, that would make it a lot more fair. But these retailers, they don't like that. That's way too much work for them. Like, obviously Nintendo cares. It's their product. They're going to do it. But to ask all the retailers to do a similar process when they could just put it on their website, no matter what happens, it sells out in a day.
And even with the lottery, people still get screwed anyway. Like, you're still not going to get. There's going to be a ton of people. Like Nintendo even said, for Japan, they're like, hey, look, there's 2.2 million people that want this. We can't do 2.2 million people just for our store. That's not for some people are reporting all of Japan. No, that was just for their store. That's not all the other retailers. they're not going to be able to supply that many. Like, so there's going to be a bunch of people that are like, oh, well, I won't be able to get it through them, so I got to go through somewhere else, and I might not be able to get it through Best Buy or wherever. They have different type of places in Japan for the stores. So it's never going to be a thing to where it's like great. To be honest, I don't think it's ever going to be a thing until there's some type of groundbreaking technology that comes through that like completely
they're not going to do it unless it benefits them. Like GameStop is the only place that does in-store pre-orders, but they don't do it. I mean, they say they do it because, you know, they're for the gamers, but they do it because they're the only one of those retailers that needs foot traffic, that needs people coming in to buy other stuff because they don't sell anything besides video game stuff. So like they're doing that, which was way easier to pre-order and it was awesome. So I'll give them credit for it, but they're doing it because it helps them. And that's the only way this is going to change, is if it benefits them and helps them make more money.
They got to sell those Pops figures.
Yeah, so
Not
I don't
wrong.
see it changing. Yeah, until internet gets some type of major overhaul and all this stuff. Like maybe by the not next generation, the next generation after that, 20 years from now.
I'm on the train of it'll never happen. If you look at all the retailers, look how many SKUs they have in general with a ton of different products. There's a bajillion products on their websites, and they're just going to do it for one. Unless it's the biggest money seller and they have a need to do that, why would they?
Yeah, I doubt they're making much of a profit on the actual console sales.
No, the profit is from because like with map pricing and stuff that I don't think I can talk about. Like, you know, they don't have much profit there. It's from selling, you know, hundreds of thousands to millions of units. Like it's not, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
So are we pretty much now at the point where people have realized that maybe the $450 to $500 price point isn't really deterrent then? Because the sales that some of these analysts are predicting now, 6 to 8 million units in the first month or two at this point for this, which would set the new record for just consoles sold in general. With the PS4 and the PS5, I believe, being the record currently at 4.5 million in 2 months.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the thing about that is I never really felt that was a thing just by looking at the Switch demographics. Nintendo put up their demographics. The demographics of the Switch are like most people that play it, they're in their 20s. Like they were in their 20s and they're in their late 20s now and after the generation, or they're in their 30s or their 40s. That is the largest demographic. They have money to buy for video games. You know, like that's, I mean, if it's $350 to $450, that's not, I mean, I'm not saying that's not like a large amount of money. That's obviously money, but that's not a big deterrent if that's something that you want. So I never felt that was a thing because people in that age range, they have jobs. They're going to, or they can trade in games, or they can trade in their system. It's not going to be a problem if you increase the price by $100, or if you increase it by, they'll figure out a way to buy it if they want it enough, right? And
take out those loans, hit the Rent-A-Center.
Yeah, and even if like it sells less, like not as many people buy it. The Switch 1 sold 150 million plus. Even if 40 million people less bought it this time around, that's still 100 million systems sold, right? So even if there's way less people, it's still probably going to do very well with that demographic right there, the 20-something-year-olds to 40 in that range. There's going to be like people that have money and they're going to buy it. Like they're just going to want it because they want to play it. So yeah, I never felt that was going to be a thing. People always talk about kids, but kids aren't actually the biggest demographic of the Switch 1. It's young adults. It's young adults, middle age. So.
Just to support OJ's
adult children,
point.
yes.
Yeah, no, okay. To support OJ's like opinion on that, look at like how they've marketed the Switch and the Switch 2. Like for the Mario Kart, you know, the Paul Rudd, that's a throwback ad. We remember seeing that on TV. It was for us. Sure, kids, you know, there's marketing, you know, it's camp, you know, for kids, so they'll have a fun time too. But we are the market. And if you look at that for like, I know Pokemon, they did their whole ad where they showed like playing with the Game Boys and you're growing up with Pokemon. Like that's just kind of how the marketing works, since, you know, they had us as kids, and like we're the adults that are buying the games for our kids because we want to share the same memory and the feelings that we had playing those games in our adolescence. So yeah, they weren't concerned. Yeah, and we all still bought it. Well, you guys still bought it.
Point, Julia, because like even the system itself like looks like a much more mature system. Like it looks like a system for adults. What's the big launch game? One of the most nostalgic games that we all grew up playing, Mario Kart World, or you know, Mario Kart.
I thought you were going to say Cyberpunk. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
Josie grew up playing Cyberpunk.
I didn't really think about
Josie alone.
That was their childhood.
Oh man. Yeah, no, it is. And like even look at like when they announced the Switch too. It felt very corporate and tech demo. It was focusing on showing what the power and what the difference is and market it more as like an adult, a mature system. Because kids don't care about that. They're like, they don't care about specs. They just want to see if they can play their games. Like, they don't think about that.
And if they can't afford it, there's the Switch 1.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that was a great
the parents buy the Switch for the kids. Like I buy the Switch 2 for my daughter if she wants one, or for my son. So like even if kids play, it's just going to be from their parents that bought it for them, or they're wanting. So it's not like a kid's gonna be like, I'm going to go out and go buy a Switch 2. Like they don't got 400. I mean, unless you're a rich kid, but most kids don't have that. They're going to get it from their parents, and their parents, if they want it, they'll get it for Christmas or something,
Yeah.
It'll be the family Switch. It'll be the living room Switch kind of thing.
It's kind of like how there was, you remember how there was like the computer room where we all had like one room dedicated to the computer?
Yes.
Now it's Switch 2 is going to be the Switch room, also known as the living room.
I had a question.
You see the big wooden TV that sits on the floor, and you're good.
Smells like ozone when you turn it off. Yep.
What were you saying, Jake?
No, I just had a random question. I'm sure I could easily look this up, but will the Switch 1 work on the Switch 2 dock? Obviously, the Switch 2 won't work on the Switch 1 dock, but will the Switch 1 work on it, or am I gonna have to play musical docks if I want to switch when I'm playing?
I don't think it'll work. You'll have to play musical docks.
There's a fan in it. I don't know if that fan would do something to it or not. John, is that something that'd be a problem?
No, I think they're going to be Switch 1 dock for the Switch system, Switch 2 for Switch 2.
Yeah. And so find out what happens when you leave it in there. I'm just curious, and I'm not going to do it. I don't want my house.
Your Switch 1 takes off. It takes off and flies back to Nintendo. If you
it ascends into space.
Yeah, just
I'll drop the Switch 1 system into the Switch 2 dock.
Right, yeah, please don't do
that.
Sounds
like something Bob Wolf would do it. Leave it in there for 2,000 hours.
I know, right? Next to each other to see what happens. I take no responsibility for house fires, insurance issues.
You're gonna end up with
it takes all. I'm just gonna cut the I don't part out and just leave
unsolved mysteries. You're gonna end up forensic files or something.
Okay, well, anyone that I accidentally helped them ruin their Switch 2, we will win another one together.
If you don't blow yourself up if it doesn't explode in the process.
That video is just going to be a quick cut to like a skyscraper exploding. Like right.
Oh, great! Can't wait. I'm just imagining it. It's like the equivalent of like when we had our Game Boy Color and like we acquired a Game Boy Advance game and try to like shove it in the Game Boy Color to make it work. Did anyone else try that? I tried that.
I did not try that.
Well, okay, my cousin got a Game Boy Advance. And I did it, so I tried to make it work. Okay, those are my memories.
I did not try that.
I'm sorry, I was being not relatable. I guess I don't know.
We had the kids that shoved UMDs into the PlayStation 3.
It's the silliest thing.
What?
Wait, what?
UMDs into the PS3?
Yeah, they wanted to play their PSP games on the PS3. We had to pull some of those out. It was great.
Cool, love that. Good for them.
They're the ones that like ate crayons and stuff too, right?
Yeah, or they put like pennies and stuff in the PS3.
Like,
they
put
the slot loading systems did not work great if they're within reaching distance. For
they got to pay their Xbox Live. Put a buck in the drive. That'll work.
It's like what you're paying at like Walmart.
Yeah, quarters, nickels, dimes, whole thing.
Oh my!
Love that.
Just appears in Phil Spencer's pocket. He's like, "Whoa!"
I think I like
money. Y'all found money
like popsicle sticks in a Wii.
Oh, dude, all the time.
People putting money in there. Oh my, bro!
Better than cockroaches.
The Wii. I remember like DS cartridges would be in the Wii, and we don't know why this thing works. You open up, there's like 3 DS cartridges in there, like floating around on the disc drive.
He's trying to play his DS games on his Wii.
Wait, time out. Do you remember the games? Was it Nintendogs?
Oh, it was probably like
Mario Luigi Inside Story
or whatever. Those kind of games.
That's hilarious, man.
Let's see. This is from It's Your Boy says, shout out to RGT and Player Essence.
Hey, what's up, Ralphie? Shout outs, brother.
Let's see. Agent Redbeard says, y'all think the new Mario will be Odyssey 2 or Bowser's Fury? Great seeing Jake. And then he says Bucks and 6.
Neither for me.
Okay. So since Mario Odyssey is accessible on the Switch 2, there is an opportunity for them to make Mario Odyssey 2. And it, because people would be able to play that game. So my heart would love to see an Odyssey 2 because it is in the realm of possibility because Nintendo likes having the previous game being available if they're going to do that, like direct, I guess, lineage with things. I would love to see it. I really enjoyed Odyssey, but probably not.
Probably toss a $10 upgrade patch on that too.
Oh, I know they're going to.
But for Odyssey?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll make a Nintendo Switch 2 edition?
Yeah. Well, just a
Odyssey.
patch.
Why not?
Oh no,
What if they
no,
did
the patch,
120
the patch is
better
free.
textures.
version of it, and that'd be
Yeah, the
crazy.
patch-
Actually,
The Odyssey
Is the patch free, or
free.
is the patch you have to pay for an NSO free?
No,
it's just like a free upgrade.
It's just a free
Okay.
update. Yeah.
But I'm curious. It might just be, hey, it's going to always be at this top tier resolution that it would normally be at if you were staring at the floor, and the frame rate's always locked. Or if they do a patch, I think you're mentioning like a $10 upgrade patch where they go, hey, now it's 120 FPS and it has HDR and it's like
Infinite
like 4K.
draw distance.
Yeah, that would be a Switch 2 edition game. That would be
That'd
like
be Switch 2
where they
edition,
actually
right.
make it into like a release because they have like 12 games. You guys all know they have like 12 games that they're doing. So I think it would just be like 1080p, 60 frames per second locked because the game runs at 900p and 60 frames like inconsistent 60. So I would just think they would just lock it at 60 and lock it at 1080p for the free
If
update.
they're going to charge, I really hope that they add content like the Kirby game. Like if they're going to charge for it, because that would make sense. In my head, I don't know. They're just going to charge you.
Let's see. This is from Future Millionaire. It says pre-order Claire Obscure from Best Buy 5 weeks ago, still delayed till God knows when. And gung ho with Amazon not allowing pre-orders is wild. The reason why I never buy games day one.
Stealth had some issues pre-ordering the game too, so he just decided just to get it digital because he really wanted to play it. Claire Obscure is badass, so I can see why you would. But that sucks to delay that. That's a brutal delay.
This is from Dave, who says Expedition 33 is a Game of Year nominee lock. It has better combat and story than Metaphor, to be honest, with blue eyes.
I don't know. I mean, listen, the combat is very good. It's very, very good. I'm not sure if it's completely better than Metaphors, but I know that it's very good. Story-wise, it might be better. I'm not sure. I don't know.
A little too French for OJ's liking.
I really like Claire Obscure. I think it's my Game of the Year front runner right now. For sure.
Rage says Expedition 33 hype is well deserved. This is like the same vibe as when I play Final Fantasy X for the first time. Feels fresh. Okay. Oh, and then Monada Mario says congrats on Spawn Wave kind of making an appearance in Donkey's video, making fun of that popular do not buy Switch 2 video. It's hilarious to watch. Always happy to lend my face to other videos. G Million says, I got mine 1 hour after pre-orders went live at Walmart. And Pickle Rick says, I love the content as well. You keep up the hard work. Got my Switch 2 pre-ordered at GameStop and met Blaze 4K and Fox 10. Great guys. There you go. Shout out to Blaze again. All right, let's talk about Claire Obscure Expedition 33. So I've been playing it. OJ's been playing it. Celia downloaded it.
Game Pass,
Evan,
yay.
did you check it out, Evan?
No.
Evan did not. Okay. And I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, Jake. I've just seen you on stream constantly, so I'm not sure.
So actually, when I went to my GameStop, I went back the next day to take a picture of the accessory sheet because that's how I discovered when I posted on Twitter that no one else knew what this was. And when I went back, someone had let the 48-hour window lapse on their pre-order, so I got that one. So I got it, but I haven't played it yet.
Okay, good stuff. Because did you pick it up on the PS5, Xbox?
PS5, yeah.
PS5. Okay.
I was on. I was talking with Jeff Grubb on Wednesday, and he actually sold me because that's why I didn't have a pre-order. And then I was like, all right, I got to get it.
Okay. I'm looking for it now physically on the PS5, and I can't find it anywhere around here. I look online on Amazon. It's like, oh, it'll ship out sometime in the middle of May.
You can't get it till May on Amazon. So
yeah, I'll keep looking for it physically because I would like to buy it. I would get it on the PS5. I've been playing it on Game Pass on the Xbox.
Oh no,
I'd like
John.
to now buy it on the PS5.
The haptics in the game are fantastic for the different moves.
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
Yeah,
I noticed a lot of the vibration.
This is kind of my thing, but now that the 48-hour window has lapsed at GameStop, it's store specific. So if there are any in stores near you, people can't just like snipe that online unless they also live where you live. So it would be worth it to go on GameStop and check out in-store availability.
Might be time to check. Okay,
Yeah,
might be time to check then.
Haptics are great. I'm playing on PS5 Pro, and the performance mode runs and looks incredible on PS5. It's enhanced for PS5 Pro too.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I'll get on the PS5. I'm playing it on the Xbox Series now, and I'm a little over 12 hours into it currently. So I've been playing it a good bit. Like, it's the thing. I started it up. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just get this game going. We'll see. Because the reviews went up. Okay, good. It's much better than I was expecting. I didn't know if it was going to be this 92 on Metacritic.
Who was hyping it up on here, John? Who was hyping it up here every week?
I know. I've been following it. I've been like, I
was hyping it up every week.
Like, I really wanted the game to be good. So going into it, just know that. Like, I was like, I really want this game to be good. I didn't know if it was going to show up and be this, like I said, this 92. But I started the game, and just after the first hour, the game gets moving pretty quick. I think some were saying, hey, it takes a little while because they do the it's kind of like a RPG trope where they start you off on kind of a lighthearted, the Chrono Trigger festival or something, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, you're at a festival.
Pretty somber festival, but yeah. It's not that great of a festival.
but like, that's the idea, is in the beginning they don't really tell you why they're having the festival. It's like, hey, there's a festival. We're we're doing this, we're going through it, everyone's dressing up and they're you're meeting up with friends.
Okay, yeah.
And then it takes a quick turn. It's like, oh, okay.
And then if you didn't know any of the if you knew the if you listen to the pre-material, like the pre-launch stuff, then you knew about it. But yeah, if you never watched it, then yeah, you don't know anything about that.
Yeah. So but you're right. They have all this stuff they've already revealed anyway in the pre-release material. So like the premise is and they show this in the beginning, is that there's like this big tree or pillar or whatever off in the distance, and it's constantly ticking down every year. So in the beginning, they show it going from 34 to 33, and there's like this goddess that changes the number. So she changes it from 34 to 33. At that moment, anyone who's 34 just like gets Thanos snapped out of existence. They just fade away. So basically, anyone who's older just keep dying, and just fading away. And now you are Expedition 33 because of the 33 number. And they take people who are in their last year of life, basically like 33-year-olds. Then, hey, go try to fix it. Go try to figure it out. And everyone's failed since Expedition 100. So there's 67 of them.
Yeah, 67 years. Yeah,
67.
Well, you can be
the
younger.
First one is 0, is how they described it during the festival. But yeah,
you can be younger and join up. Anybody can join the expedition, but usually it's people like you want to get as much life as you can because your life is short. Yeah. But there are a few that were not that were younger. One of the girls on the team is, I think she's 19?
She's 16.
16. Yeah, Maya. So she's very young, but she didn't want to be there anyway. But yeah, everything that John said about the setup is awesome. It does take a little bit of time, but it's fantastic. Might be a little bit of a trope, but it's great. The graphics in the game.
I'm 33, so now I have to play it.
Yeah, you're dead.
Oh no, Jake! No,
you got to go on the expedition.
Jake, you're dead. You better play before you're gone, dude.
Jake, I think you and me would be the only ones left on the panel.
Me and John have been dead. Me and John have been dead.
Bye. Would be you, me, and Josie would be like the survivors. Y'all are getting saved. We're all gonna.
The game though is doing some things I haven't seen in a while. In like I guess you'd say it's not really a large scale game though. If you go on their website, it's like if you can count how many people are there, they have a page that just shows their entire like team. So 34 people. So this isn't a game where we took thousands of people or whatever to make it necessarily. And it seems like their budget's under control because they were excited about 500,000 copies selling. Like, look, 500,000 copies sold. We're real excited,
Wait, it's under control.
Time out. How many people worked on the game?
30 something.
34 is what's logged on their website.
If they called it like had the game have 34 in the title and it was made by 34 people, that is such a missed opportunity. I know 33 sounds good though. Oh well.
Maybe it originally was, but they had to add someone.
Yeah.
Someone got hired and they're like,
we can't change it now.
It got a Game Pass deal, so that was good for their budget overall. And yeah, they only have they priced it at 50, so more people would be inclined to pick it up.
$50 game.
Because it's it's a turn-based game with the type of graphics that it has. Like they're trying to appeal more like the Western audience with the turn-based game. They thought that might be a little bit more of a hard sell, but it's totally worth it. Like if you're into RPGs, you're definitely into turn-based games. It's like John says, the gameplay is fantastic. The pacing is really good. The combat.
Could you guys
great.
describe like the combat a little bit?
Yeah, it's straight up turn. It's a turn-based combat, but there's a lot of
parrying and dodging.
Yeah,
there's quick time.
There's a parrying mechanic
and
quick time mechanics that are built into the game. So anytime an enemy attacks, you can either dodge or you can parry them. And if you parry them, you'll do a powerful counter. Or you can, and then you also have like different they call them pictos, which are just abilities that you can learn. And then you can also pair those up with other things that you learn as well, like skills that you learn. And like you do like little quick time events as you're playing that kind of, you know, match it up and time it to do like extra damage or heal more. And it's just a really nice, like you have skill trees, really nice system. The characters all feel different. Each character feels very different in their skill tree from the other character. And they have really cool mechanics and techniques with each one of these characters. Like they fight really differently, you know, which is really, really fun. And there's not that many characters in the game for you to play, but they're really, really nice in terms of how they do it. And they all work well
do you
together.
have like a party of 3 of them and you can rotate who's in your party, or
there's not there's not that many characters.
Well, you have well, I don't know how far OJ. That's the thing. I don't really know how far.
So I don't want to spoil it.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to
get 20 people.
You have 3
champions
fight.
of Endgame, guys. That sounds.
Yeah, I don't want to do any. I'm not super far into the game, but I still.
Well, you see, OJ, you have 3 people that are fighting.
Yes,
basically. Like they have 3 slots. And if you look at the achievements, like, oh, you get all the playable characters. Yes, there are people you can change out. That does eventually happen. So there you go. There are also, so you have dodge and parry, and then I will say this, OJ, they add some stuff to it as well as you get further in.
We can spoil one more. They add jump. There's jump.
Yeah, so you do get a jump.
Yes,
but they have some nuking abilities basically that you get as well. Like you become very powerful in this game, but what's really cool about it is you can still get slapped up by basic enemies you run across if you don't know or remember or even look into their combos or what they're weak against. Like there is a lot of strategy involved here, and when that parry hits, man, it's one of the this might be one of the most satisfying parries in a video game, like in general, which is crazy to think about because we've had all the Souls games and other things where you can parry and immediately annihilate the enemy. This is it.
The timing window is
really
small.
good.
It's a small timing window, but when you get the timing down, it feels great. It feels great to do. And there's also like different pictos or abilities that you can do that help you in terms of if you dodge, you can get like an extra little charge for your skills, or there's certain things that you can equip that actually give you benefits for dodging, or if you parry on top of that. So it just all works. Like everything connects together, and the combat feels the sound effects and the little graphical sparks and stuff that fly out are just incredible, man. It is a dope game, and the voice acting and the lip syncing is phenomenal. Like
the music though is really good.
The music is so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Man,
I'm hyped all over again. It sounds like RPGs are my favorite like genre of games.
You're gonna like
love this.
Yeah,
you're gonna love this game, dude.
It's like mature rated, so they're serious with like, you know, just the violence in the right spots where it's kind of over the top, just to make you like bring you back to a bit of a shock value there. They have basically they can do whatever they want in the game, and they're showing it. But there's something that happens in this game, and I'm not gonna say what it is, but I will tell you this. I sat there, it was quiet, they do the fade out, and I'm just like, damn, they're allowed to do that? they can do that?
You like anime, Jake?
You know, I'm not like a huge anime guy, but I've watched like all like the staples, like the really well-known popular ones for sure.
Got the people here like anime. You can tell by the moves that they do. You can tell that they definitely watched anime. Because like, some of the stuff is like exactly like anime, dude. Like exactly.
That is the funniest way to recommend a game. Like, hey man, are you a
bro,
weeb?
you like shonen?
Are you an anime enjoyer? If
dude,
so,
hell yeah, dude.
there's some weeb
The
shit
main guy
in this
hits you
game.
with the Chidori. Like he
They
just literally hits you with Sasuke's
in there.
Chidori. Like it's just like it. The other chick.
Oh really?
Yes, really. He does.
I'm a weeb. I'm excited.
No,
I'm gonna
seriously.
play the game.
He literally, it's a different color. It's red, but it's definitely like Sasuke's Chidori, 100%.
Okay,
like, it's so close. It's so close to it. And then the girl also does like, I don't know, you watch Naruto, first Hokage, like the Mokuton stuff. It's exactly like his.
Oh, okay, cool.
Celia, I'm telling you,
already sold.
Celia, I'm telling you, drop.
Tell me in Kaiju number 8 terms.
Yeah, God, I love
I've not
Kaiju
watched that
number
one.
8.
I'm not.
Second
I like
season,
Naruto,
guys. I can't wait.
Celia, I'm telling you, drop an hour into it. Okay, just the first hour, even it'll get you going right. It'll hit you real quick, and then play through to the end of Act 1, and then send me a message. Let me know what you think.
Okay, I will. But like,
get to the end of Act 1, and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
You might get hung up though you might get hung up just fighting because it's so much fun. Like I'm
Okay.
still just level. I'm on like level like 13 or 14. I haven't even went that far. I got my third character, and I'm just like building up. I'm playing the hardest difficulty, and like there's all sorts of like harder. There's like little harder bosses that are sprinkled throughout the place that you can take down if you want, but they do way more damage and all that. So I'm trying to take down all them and do all that. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm like level 30 now.
Dude, my gaming backlog is huge. I just keep on
I'm
adding more games.
But here's the thing,
Like-
Celia. This game you can go through. They said in like 25 to 30 hours.
Only
Just for
25
initial
to
run.
30.
Yeah,
Oh.
whoa. No,
Only
like literally
25%.
what it was downloading. I like also downloaded Viva Pinata and Blake's, and I'm playing Banjo Tooie right
Great.
now. This list, and Oblivion, but okay, but like this list is just getting longer and longer. And I really like Viva Pinata. Just throwing that out there.
It's
It's great.
it's not about money when you get older. It's about time.
I
Yep.
know. Life
I'm
is
telling you,
hard.
I'm here to
When
sell
you're a kid,
people on
you've
the
got, like,
game. It's
4
a good
games,
game.
and you play them countless hours. And then when you're older, you have every game you want, and you don't play any of them.
You don't have time. I wish I can play like way more, but like I gotta prioritize the games that I really want to play. So Oblivion, didn't play Oblivion. What else? I skipped a couple other games. I skipped a
You
couple.
play a
other games
lot
earlier this year.
of big games, though, OJ. Your time management is impressive.
Yeah, I've been playing Xeno and I've been playing this, but I've had to, and I didn't play Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like even though I wanted to try that, I didn't play that game. Like there's a bunch of games that I might not play now because my time is even getting more like limited because of Switch 2 stuff, like working, So yeah.
Also,
Also, this game I had to play. This one I'm looking forward to it. When I first saw it, I was like, I gotta play this game. It looks so good.
Like
Who
the
here that the chat likes Lost Odyssey? Anybody in the
Ooh.
chat like Lost Odyssey?
How about Legend of Dragoon, chat? Legend of Dragoon,
Um,
Lost Odyssey, Final
Who
Fantasy
in the
8.
chat's old enough to have played Legend?
I'm
of
telling
Dragoon?
No, because I thought Lost Odyssey when I saw the game, and then they were talking about like, hey, we had some inspiration from Lost Odyssey. It's not just the gameplay. I'm telling OJ, play through the game, OJ, and there's gonna be a moment where you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm gonna probably get there tonight. But the thing
I'm
about it is,
telling
like,
you, you're gonna be like, oh, that's what
Paper
they're
Mario
talking about.
fans. If you like Paper Mario,
Yeah.
this game straight up, there's so many things from just the
Adult
offense
Paper
defense.
Mario. Just
Yeah, Paper
This is
Mario
one of the
stuff
few
in this game.
games where I just want to do like when I
Anime
beat the game.
moves.
This is one of the few games where I want to do like a full like spoiler podcast on it. There's some crazy
will-
stuff happening.
I
in this
will
game.
do a full spoiler podcast with you on this one. I'm gonna be playing a lot of it. I'm gonna try to play more tomorrow because Sundays I have one day off on Sunday. So yeah, I'm gonna try to play a lot more of it tomorrow.
The way you were describing the parry system, I actually thought of like Legend of Dragoon, like the button presses for
Oh,
your
yeah.
combos and stuff.
Final Fantasy VIII, Legend of Dragoon, Paper Mario. It's got a mix of like Lost Odyssey. It's got a mix of everything, which they did say that, hey, look, we were inspired. You can tell that the developers love RPGs. These guys love them. And they've probably thought about everything in their minds and said, okay, let's try to make something. This is very impressive for essentially an indie game. Like essentially at its root, it's an independent game. They do have big backing, like money and a publisher and all that, but this is an indie game.
Didn't they do like a dev intro about the game? Because I feel like they were talking about RPGs, or am I misremembering from?
No, they
different
did
game?
do some. They did
Yeah,
do
'cause-
something like an interview, like
Yeah, because I
They had a
remember them
developer direct.
talking about
Yeah.
all the things that they liked, and I'm like, yeah, like you're naming them. Like that's pretty spot on.
Yeah. They you can tell though. You can tell when you play the game. There's so many influences, like John has said, and it's a game that needs to be supported. It's $50. People talk about prices of games. It's $50. 500,000 sales is good, but I think we can do it. Like we can do better, right? Like I think
this should go on to sell million. It should be millions of copies. With
Yeah,
this
this should be millions of this should be
It's-
debut like higher
very
at
good.
that price tag,
But even just for them, for Sandfall at this point, they're also just trying to get their name out there. So I mean, even if you just have Game Pass, go download it and play it because they seem thrilled just in general that people are playing their game.
Yeah.
Because this will just set up their next title. With the
Half
future.
a million's good,
Okay.
but only because like most of the development
Expedition
cost is going to
12.
be human resources, right?
It's all children.
Yeah.
Like
child soldiers.
it's like Muppets Babies, but it's like the version when they're little.
I don't know if that'd be bad. All children.
Okay. I know, right? Okay, but yeah, just a note. Okay, game sales are great, but like if you download on Game Pass as well, even if you're not going to play it away, like adding to those numbers does help developers as well. So download it, give them as much attention as possible.
Yeah, Microsoft will probably drop a bigger bag for the next one.
Yeah. They didn't give game. So I don't know if put this on Twitter. I don't know if it got kind of swallowed up by Oblivion, because usually from what maybe
there's a lot of games that did.
Yeah, like I don't know if their Game Pass numbers were better, maybe they would have opted to go with players. They opted to go with sales, like for the first announcement.
Yeah.
Oblivion said players. Oblivion said 4 million players, and then Claire Obscure, they said 500,000 sales.
Okay,
So I'm thinking maybe their player count was not great.
Yeah, so basically it whenever like people specify, it's whatever the bigger number was. So
Yeah.
it could have been like close to 50-50.
Yeah,
It could have been
okay.
like way low. We just don't know unless they want to reveal that, because those statistics aren't transparent. But yeah, it's always the most impressive number.
I also want to point out that the people who made this game at Sandfall, or like some of the core team members, are from Ubisoft. So Ubisoft gets kind of beaten up, but I'm telling you, there's some talent there that can.
Ubisoft's
that can
got
make these
good
kind of
devs.
games.
They've got good.
They can make these kind of games. It's
It's just a too many
sometimes the
cooks
leadership just
situation.
gets a little enamored with Assassin's Creed and microtransactions. Like for example, the CEO, creative director at Sandfall that worked to make Claire Obscure, worked on Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So there you go.
Work on Skull and Bones.
All the French stuff in the
They
game
got
is
out of
cool, too. All
They saw the
French-
writing on the wall.
all the French stuff in the game is dope. Like when they speak it and all that stuff. I think it's like the style is kind of cool.
Did you run across like the optional enemy at the beginning, OJ?
Yeah, it's like I said it was from Pokemon, kind of.
Yeah, kind of is. That made me actually kind of laugh a little bit.
I was
There's
laughing. I'm like,
the first like hour, 2 hours, something you run across and you're like, what in the world? And then it just punches you in the face.
yeah, I was like, might be a Pokemon reference.
I just thought it was just
I thought it was
French.
hilarious. Yeah, it was great. It was like he's a little off to the side. Remember to explore everywhere when you play the game. Otherwise, you'll miss funny stuff.
Is Pikachu in the game? Is that what you guys are
No,
saying?
no, it's not. It's not Pikachu.
Is Pocket Parrot
Trying
gonna
to
be
figure
like
out
Pikachu?
what you could be talking about.
When you play the game, it's at the beginning of the game, so it's not like a
Okay.
super spoiler. You'll
Can you
find
catch
it.
him? Is
Just
he a
go
yellow mouse?
No, you can't catch him. Just go off to the left.
It's a Lamachamp.
Is it his name 3Kachu? Like, I don't know. Like
No,
33.
no.
I'm telling you,
not gonna spoil it.
Steely, I'm telling you, start the game up, give it like an hour, and then you'll just be hooked on the game completely.
Okay.
You just be completely hooked on it. You too, Jake.
I'm going.
It's that good. It's
If you
that
like
good of a game.
anime, you are going to love this game.
You like
I'm still
anime?
laughing about
Into
that.
shonen.
Yeah. You like
I think the
anime?
92 lines up, and I hope we get to the end of the year and it's one of the nominees. Because
It's gotta
that,
be, man.
if anything, that means that Jeff can flex with that kind of a soundtrack.
They have the
on his
indie
big
category
stage.
now too, though.
I think
It should win best debut game. I don't.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that or Blueprints will.
yeah. Well, we don't know what else is coming out. Something else could
That's
come out
true,
and
too.
be incredible. But I think definitely right now, front runner, one of the games in like Split Fiction, and now in this game, definitely two of the games that are pretty good starting out.
Super impressive stuff. I recommend anyone out there, if you have Game Pass, download it, just try it. Otherwise, I recommend picking it up because I think it's worth the $50.
If you have PS5 Pro, 1000% recommendation. It like the performance mode runs like butter, and it looks fantastic on an OLED screen. If you got an OLED or you got a sharp monitor, PS5 Pro is great. I've been playing it on there. So,
Celia, you downloaded Oblivion Remake.
Yes.
Good stuff. Okay, I did play it for a bit. It dropped. Shadow dropped right into Game Pass. I was like, all right, I'll download this. I don't know if Jake, you had a chance to check it out at all.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, OJ, Evan, anyone? Just me.
no,
Wait,
I
okay.
can't.
I
I
beat
can't
the
do
ori-
because
I beat the original Oblivion 4 times, once with a character right off the bat, 3 characters after the modification community made it way better, and then this came out, and I'm like, I don't want to do it again.
I have questions.
Mhm.
Spoiler free questions. Is it janky? Like, did they keep that?
It has
It's
some.
so funky.
I've been watching people play. It has classic jank
It's
from
still
Bethesda.
jank.
Okay, that's all I want. I was about to like riot in the
It
streets.
is.
Okay,
You'll
second
still shoot
question.
someone with an arrow, and then their whole body will fold in half and slide across the ground.
Yeah,
I've seen someone do the split second paralysis, the old trick where you hit someone with 0.2 second paralysis, and then the ragdoll takes like a minute, so you've stunned them for a minute. You just beat them to death while they're getting back up, like that kind of stuff.
Okay, excellent. Next question. Uncanny Valley zoom when an NPC is talking.
They don't look. They don't.
It
still
does
has
the
But
that
is it
weird-
the pivot? Is it the pivot and then
They
the
still
zoom?
do that thing where they stare weirdly.
Yeah,
at me,
into your
yes.
soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the character creator is absolutely crazy. There are things I have seen.
People
I've
make
seen
some crazy looking.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy
like
stuff. I've
like
seen some crazy
big
stuff.
football faces with their mouths partially fully
Good.
open with teeth showing. It's just crazy looking.
I saw one person what's that one show? Y'all remember that one show that was like dinosaurs back in the day where it looked like puppet
That's big.
dinosaurs?
Yeah, with like the baby.
Yeah, with the baby. I saw
yeah.
someone that made like a dude that looked like the main character from that.
Yep.
Excellent.
And it still has console commands, and most of the console commands, from what I understand, are about the same. So a lot
John,
of people
find that thing, so show them what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but a lot of people
Find
I
that
watch,
show.
they'll make their
Okay,
characters.
I know what you're
Dinosaurs.
talking about.
The
I had it
I
on
need the chat to
VHS.
know what I'm talking about, though. They're too young.
Oh.
Dinosaurs?
Oh.
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
called
like the
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the Uncanny Valley dinosaur looking
The
at.
dad
Where they all
was,
watch the
kinda
meteor
a
come
John
down
Goodman
at the end.
vibe.
The
They all
finale
hold
was
hands
them
and then
watching the
close
end
their
of their
eyes.
own lives.
Yes, the finale was crazy. I asked my mom what happened, and she was like, "Don't worry about it."
You just watch them die.
Turns off the TV.
Yeah,
She
it's
was
just called
"It's
called
baby,
Dinosaurs.
You're fine." I was like,
I know you're
"Oh,
I
talking
have it
about
on
though.
DVD
Yeah, the
whole
baby.
seasons.
It's wonderful.
Dude, the baby was so funny. That was my favorite part.
Not the mama.
Not the mama, yeah.
So I did play it for a bit though. I played it on the Series X. I played it on the ROG Ally X just to see how that would hold up. And the only issue they're running into is this game has that UE5 stutter attached to it. And man, this game is tough to run. I mean, this thing is just getting beaten up constantly if you're playing on the PC. People are showing like their frame rate graphs, and that thing is all over the place. The Xbox Series X that I'm playing it on right now. And then also, actually, Bethesda did send me a code for the PS5, so I checked it on the PS5 Pro as well. And it doesn't really matter where you're playing it. It's just, you go outside and the performance just tanks. It struggles badly. When you're indoors for dungeons or just inside houses, it's perfectly fine. There's no issues there. Performance mode, it's good. But
even on
from what I
PS5
can tell,
Pro?
yeah, from what I can tell, they're running UE5 layered on top of the original Oblivion.
Yeah,
and
it's got all the creation engine stuff in it, so it's like almost emulated.
That's what's causing some of these issues right now. It's actually very similar to Ninja Gaiden Black 2. They did something with UE5 over top of the original game, but obviously that one doesn't have all the physics-based creation engine stuff happening with open world like Oblivion is right now. And I mean, the game itself is classic Oblivion, but I think better. Some people are like, oh, I don't like the look of it. It's more muted now. But I think just in general, some of the gameplay and quality of life stuff they've done has helped a lot. I don't know about the performance is sketchy though. That's my only issue.
It looks visually fine, but this is a Bethesda game, and historically Bethesda games become amazing when the communities fix them. And even on their website, they were like, "We're not supporting mods." And
I think they're going to let mods happen, but I don't think they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, we'll support."
There's no way they can not let mods happen.
Yeah,
it's just going to happen. But they've been very clear that it seems to be weird because the people that made the mods knew the creation engine inside and out, and because this is being filtered into Unreal, they're going to have to figure out how to make the mods to go through that 2-stage process and still work, which is going to be insane. But yeah,
didn't they gift the game to a bunch of like
the devs working on the Oblivion in the Skyrim engine mod? Yeah. Which everyone's like, that's cool, but also it's the big company being like, we see you. Here's some codes. Stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ryan asked
never though.
Yeah, is the combat better? The combat is better. That's one of the things that they seem to put a focus on. There's more impact when you actually hit enemies, whereas people didn't realize. I guess with Oblivion, there was no impact. You just swung through.
You play melee. You pray to God you kill it before it kills you. That's it.
Yeah, there is impact, and they also redid some of the ranged combat with bow and arrow, and it is much better. It just feels more impactful.
Movement smoother. I think they added that like dash dodge as well.
You have a sprint. You can just sprint in the game if you want. Yep. So they've added little things here and there to try to just modernize it, we'll say, with some of the advancements we had, since 2006. But I mean, again, in Game Pass, it's an easy download for a lot of people. I think it's worth checking out. If you've never played it, I think is probably the best way to try it. Just again with some of the quality of life features. Celia, you were big into Oblivion, so I assume you're going to check this out eventually. But I would recommend checking out after Claire Obscure.
Okay, so I have the list. Okay, I have to beat Banjo-Tooie, then it's Blueprints, then it's Blinks, then it's Viva Pinata, and then I have the newer games. So
I would move Claire Obscure up to like near the top of the list.
If
Above
not,
Viva
you're gonna
Pinata?
you're gonna get the Viva Pinata at the Game Awards. That's what's about to happen here.
I'll have a follow-up at the end of the year of the games I get.
I think Claire Obscure is one you'll get through a bit faster.
Oh yeah, no,
than
I'm
the
planning to play that like this weekend. So I joke, but I will go back.
I just want to see
Viva.
your take on it. I just want to see what you think of it.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, Oblivion, it's still kind of Oblivion, but if you've never played it, kind of a cool thing to check out there. But for people who are big fans, I think they'll get a kick out of it. I'm enjoying it, but I put it down for a bit to play Claire Obscure. So weird timing to drop that too, with a shadow drop same week as Expedition 33 was going into Game Pass. It's like, you couldn't have just waited a little bit for Oblivion, just like the following week or the week after. It just seems like an odd place to drop it.
Maybe they didn't know. Like
There were so many indie devs that were like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like I just my
I heard
feed
that.
lit up with I just dropped a game I'd been working on for 6 years and no one bought it kind of situation because of Oblivion.
okay. So for that, there's different market share, of course, and obviously you don't want your life to be harder by competing with media attention for like, you know, a juggernaut like that game. But like, it is weird that there's such an overlap with that when they're selecting their release like windows. But whatever, it sucks. Play games.
There you go. We also had Ghost of Yote got its release date. It is coming out October 2nd. I saw that in the trailer, and it's funny because Sony's trying to thread the needle right now because GTA 6 is right around the corner. I assume from that release date. It looks to me like they placed it a week after Borderlands 4 because they assume that they're not going to drop GTA 6 a week that close to Borderlands 4. Although it is also then a week after Marathon. So you do kind of have these Sony games bumping up against each other. I guess Marathon being the multiplayer game, how much of that audience are you really splitting there between that and Ghost of Yote? In the trailer they showed, though, the game does look better than the first time they showed it. The combat animations, the visuals. My only thing is they talk about it being a revenge plot, and I just played that with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So maybe not now for me. Like if they shadow drop that, I'd be like, oh, I feel like I just did this. Maybe in October I won't feel that way. Also, it's their Ghost franchise from Sucker Punch. So I do feel like they're probably going to have a better game than what I played with Assassin's Creed Shadows as well. So I'm there for it day one. I will be checking it out.
I think you're right about the GTA release date too, because honestly, I just would assume that Rockstar has a good relationship with Sony, and Sony might have said something like, "Hey, would this release date be okay? You think?" And if not going to reveal their date, be like, "Yeah, you would probably do well if you released it on that day." You know what I mean? Kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I there has to be communication there because Sony knows like GTA 6 is going to heavily push console sales since it's not on PC day one, and they have the PS5 Pro, which at that point then would be the best place to play it, we assume. So there probably is communication there, but I'm starting to think GTA 6 is a November game at this point. That's if I had to take a guess, and that's gonna be really weird because that's probably right up against Call of Duty, maybe even Battlefield.
Wait, question. What was the Ghost of Yote release date?
October 2nd.
October 2nd. Okay.
So a week after Borderlands 4, which Borderlands 4 being with Take-Two, 2K, I assume they figured, okay, we can probably get away with that. Otherwise, maybe they drop GTA 6 the last week of October. It's tough. Everyone's just trying to figure this out. And I think GTA 6 will probably have it's going to get spotlight one way or the other in the next 2 weeks because we have Take-Two's financials and earnings report and stuff. That'll be out May 9th, I think. So we'll probably find out before then. They'll either announce a release date, drop a trailer, or have to tell investors that it got delayed. I don't think they want to say that. So GTA 6 trailer. But yeah, Ghost of Yote looks good.
If Rockstar's ever done a console bundle, and they actually did Red Dead Redemption 2 with the PS4 Pro. So I wonder if they would do something like that with GTA 6.
I feel like somebody has the marketing between Microsoft or Sony. Someone has it. It wouldn't shock me if it's Sony. Like they probably drop a lot of money to do that. You imagine putting that next to your PlayStation 5 and maybe even a box for a PS5 bundle.
Just gotta get those little like detachable sides. Nice little
The plates,
GTA.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point, Rockstar and Take-Two, they're just calling the shots. Whatever they want at this point. So give them 2 weeks. Hopefully we get some information on it. Because I'm just ready to get the release date at this point with how it's just kind of been hung over everyone's head.
Yeah, because I never got the Pro. But if they did that, I might be inclined to pick it up. Because I've been considering it for a while. But
yeah.
100% they say it's best on the Pro as it comes out with that bundle too.
Well, with GTA 6, if that, let's say that they do have a 60 FPS mode and it's only on the PS5 Pro, that's probably gonna get a lot of people looking to buy it. That's just outright. You see how much money these people dump into GTA Online, and they want that 60 FPS advantage. That $700 Pro is probably cheap for them for how much their shark cards are that they spend on it, every year. So we'll see. That's the big thing people are looking towards. Maybe looking at Ghost of Yote as an indication as to when GTA 6 could be coming as well. So let's go over to some of the super chats here. I'm also going to check the mailbag as well. Let's see. Here we go. It's from Gmail. It says, I got mine 1 hour after pre-orders went live at Walmart. So that queue was going for a minute, huh?
The queue was going for a while, and then I don't know how late your stream went, OJ, but then they took away the queue and they just let people go in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I ended around midnight my time, so went for about 3 hours from when they started. So I don't remember that.
Yeah, no. So after a certain amount of time, an hour or two or whatever it was, they just removed the queue and you could easily go in for a while. That's why Walmart's been great.
Oh no! Once I got mine, I was like, "Screw it, I'm done."
Yeah, that's fair.
You just later it out.
And then I tried to get some stuff at Best Buy to see, because my option would have been Best Buy, so I can do in-store pickup, but I never was able to get through on Best Buy.
Buy one BBL, get one free. It says 2.2 million pre-order wait list in Japan. Pre-orders in the US selling out in minutes. Websites crashing. Pretty much confirms internet outrage is niche and doesn't represent people in the real world. Well, except for the person in front of Josie in line. Although they were buying it. They were just mad about it.
Well, he thought it was 90.
He'll never know.
You'll never know. You know?
Josh says, I went to GameStop early in the morning and scored a Mario Kart bundle. My store had, over 60 consoles. They were stocked up pretty well at some of these GameStops.
Real quick, though, I have multiple GameStops where I'm at, and everybody went to, like, the inner city GameStops, and there's a GameStop's kind of like on the outskirts. And that one had like nobody going to it. Yeah, like that one had like nobody. All the ones in the mall and in the inner city, they were all packed with people. But the one closer to my house, there was like no, you could just like walk in there and get it.
It was interesting. The mall GameStops had the most allocated. They had like the 120 plus units per store. And then it was like anywhere from 20 like to 80 for outside the mall.
Yeah, outside, like I think mine had about 30 something, but mine's on, like I said, mine's more outside and not in the inner city. So for me, it would have been easy just to go in there and get it.
Timothy Bryce says, thank you, Jake. Truly helped me secure my Switch from Target. Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, you're welcome, Timothy. That's impressive that you got it from Target.
Scumbag says, shout out to Jake. I secured 2 bundles, one through Target almost immediately, and the other through Walmart. That took about 30 minutes, both on the apps, not website. I didn't trust Target due to pre-order cancellations in the past.
Fair.
Trinity of the Phoenix says, I thought Prime was broke, but he has 100 of them.
Hey, let's not hate. He's giving away a couple.
We'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, Celia's signing up for everyone.
Instantly, yeah, I'll sign up for you too.
I mean, you got to watch out, though. There's a lot of floods and stuff that happen in that area. So,
yeah.
He'll lose all of them.
I need to
refinance
something. I don't know.
I don't know where he lives.
Big V says,
beers and floods, man, over there. But you got to be careful. Bucks.
Got 2 for friends. I get Walmart and Target, looks like. One for me. GameStop. Oh, okay. They didn't like Best Buy. So.
Shout out Big V.
Best Buy was, I didn't like them either.
Let's see. Yo Peep says, I'm surprised Square didn't go all in on a double cartridge like they did on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We're gonna get to that where they just start dropping multiple carts in their installation cartridge. Back to like those floppy drives back in the day. Oh, Big Cat's Corner says, what's the deal with some GameStops making some people order other accessories with
that was awesome to hear about.
Well, so that seems like a location specific call, although apparently there were a couple locations that did this. So what would probably happen, and there's an unfortunate side of things there, is there's probably store managers or whoever who were like, oh, here's a good idea.
I got a brilliant one, guys.
Yeah, let's hold up these Switch 2 pre-orders that everyone wants, unless you're willing to buy accessories that help out our store sales.
It's almost like pre-scalping. Like this is the next stage, right? Stores are like,
Well,
we're gonna scalp our own things
so
we're selling
rude.
you by forcing you to buy other stuff too.
Yeah.
Wait, can you return the accessories immediately after, or it doesn't work like that?
I wonder if they pile it all into one bundle, you have to return the whole thing.
Oh, that
They
might
tried to
be
do that for the PS5. But it looks like Nintendo, because they did that with pre-orders right away, GameStop for the PS5. So I think Nintendo said you can't do that for this, or we're not, we'll give your consoles to Walmart too. We took them away from Amazon. We're not afraid to take them away from you. Because there was no mandatory bundles on the online pre-orders for GameStop.
The GameStop social media account was like, where was this? So I think they're on the case.
Oh.
Yeah,
they said
happened.
we're investigating as they typed it in and just
As
pressed
they
send
wink
and hung
and
up.
Yeah. Rage says there were only 10 people lined up at my GameStop. It was still fun to talk Nintendo in line with everyone and managed to secure mine with no problems. GameStop closed the accessory pre-order yesterday too, from Josh. Oh, it's your boy says no one got the Switch 2 welcome game. We'll find out on launch day because it's a digital release. I'm sure some people will buy it and check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's what, $10 or something. Yeah, there you go.
You guys go to Nintendo's website and pre-order Fortnite.
Yeah, that's right. You could do that. You can pre-order Fortnite right now.
100% pre-order Fortnite.
Yeah. Rebecca says, I wonder if Japan went key card because weak yen. There's a good possibility of that right now with how weak the yen is. Very possible. Johnny R says, seems like the people that showed up at GameStop got a pre-order. I lined up 2 hours before opening and got mine. About 80 were available in total. Jeez.
Good amount
of stock. Saiyan says, how many have bought the Kill Switch accessory by D-Brand? I wonder, seeing the massive pre-order success of the console. Yeah, I think most of the accessories in general, Amazon, D-Brand, they're gonna sell quite a bit of those. Formerly says, seems like the only way to get actual physical versions will be LRG style order process. VGP is offering to reprint actual physical versions. Oh, might be the move. Yagami says, I attended the Nintendo Switch 2 experience event this weekend. Mario Kart and Metroid Prime 4 were awesome. Dragon X Drive was surprisingly a lot of fun to play. I don't doubt that it would be fun. We don't know how much that game is yet, do we?
Nope.
Dragon X Drive. That's gonna be one where if it is like $60, I'm like, how much am I gonna play this game? I don't know. That'll be tough. Geek Culture says, think Switch 2 will be hard to find for a while. Yes, because by the time we'll get through the summer, I'm sure we'll have restocks throughout, right, Jay? We'll see them pop in and out here and there, and people will buy them up. But once you get into that holiday season, dude, it's over. That's
exactly what I was saying. I mean, with all the stock that they stockpiled for the launch will probably be one of the easiest times to get them. Besides, like maybe a couple months from now, they might start to get a little easier for a minute. And then as soon as the holidays come up, like look at the Switch 1. It's sold out almost every holiday season, even 5 and 6 years in. Granted, there was other factors like chip shortages, but still, there was a lot of demand. So you want to try to get one sooner rather than later if you want one before like January of next year.
Andy Ackerman says, Team Juice tonight. I heard C was the one who sabotaged the feed earlier.
How?
Vampire Slayer says, sup everybody, I did get my Switch 2 pre-ordered. I am pretty much going all digital at this point. I got my 1 terabyte card already. Jeez, for the micro SD express card, that's
get like 5 games on that.
Hey Celia, you can be my old man yelling at me while I roll my eyes. There you go. Kinesis says Amazon Canada has an invitation process for Switch 2. Interesting. Tijo says trying to save up $530 for Switch 2. Think they'll have any units available for launch day. If not, any tips on how I can get a pre-order in if/once I do have the money? Oh, follow Jake Randall. that's the advice. Follow him. I assume you're going to be tweeting about Switch 2 pages going live like the end of the year at this rate.
I will. I've kind of like partnered up with an automated account that has, so it automatically, whenever something comes in, it pings. And if you guys want to follow that one, it's called LeBlorst of Times. He's been in the chat the whole stream, by the way. He helps me out with my YouTube stuff too. But I actually found myself retweeting a bunch of his stuff at one point during my PS5 thing. Mm-hmm. And so we eventually started talking because I was just using his links because I noticed he was the fastest. And so now I just pretty much always use his to get stuff out the fastest. Okay. So it's great because I don't have to worry about that part as much now.
Okay, good stuff. So you just gotta check. So check Jake's Twitter account where he's retweeted, and then follow that account, the bot account. Eric says, "Got my pre-order in." Shout out to Eric. Johnny, member for 1 month. Mecca Omar says, "Celia, spot on. Half the excitement I get from gaming these days is sharing my favorite series with my kiddos." Johnny with a super sticker. Jake W says, "Did you get the platinum for Shadow Spawn?" I did not. I'm like 70% to it. So I occasionally I'll turn the now I'm on a clear obscura, but I would like just turn the system on PS5 and do a few missions and then turn it off. So maybe I'll eventually
that platinum's boring. Just say it, John. You ain't trying to get that crusty ass platinum.
The game itself, I beat the game and stuff, and the ending just wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. And I'm like, maybe they're gonna do more content as they go along.
When you get that platinum trophy, what do you get?
A platinum trophy.
You get not a damn thing. Don't waste your time with that. Play different games.
I get a
Don't waste your time with that nonsense.
Dennis says, "Okay, YouTubers, we need to tell Nintendo this is bull that we don't want a key, that we want a full game on the cartridge. We need all complaints about this." Probably the loudest thing you can say is just not buy it.
Let the market decide. Yeah, like you can complain all you want to, and that's fine, but the sales are going to be it. So don't buy it.
In much the same vein of the comments about people being like against the pricing on the Switch and how it doesn't matter because it's sold out. It's the same here. It's not going to matter. Yeah. It's not like,
so if you don't like it, don't buy it. And I think that the sales will dictate. If nobody buys it, then they'll look at different ways. But if you just yell about it, but then everyone still buys it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we've played Pokemon. We know.
Yeah, so I mean, it's more about hey, look, don't buy it. Yelling about it is one thing. They're not going to stop. They're not going to pay for 64 gigabyte cartridges if they don't feel like paying for it.
Here's my money, but I'm angry about this.
Yeah, until they see that it's not a viable strategy. So I get, going on online and yelling about things. I know that's how people usually do things, but I'm telling you, the best way to do it is just don't buy it and go about your day and play what you want to play. You know what I'm saying? Buy what you want to buy, play what you want to play, and just go about your day. And like, if people don't buy this, let the market decide. Trust me, that's an effective way. Then they'll change their tune if nobody buys this. They'll change their tune.
Yeah, my plan is just buy if it's on the cartridge, I'll pick it up that way. But if it's a game key, I might just buy it digital just for the convenience factor. It's like
let them know digital is better.
Believe it or not, I think out of Nintendo, we have probably the least amount to change what Nintendo does. I think with Microsoft and Sony, maybe there's a little bit more. But I'm telling you, with Nintendo, there's not you can have a million people saying, everybody was saying, don't buy Mario Kart, don't buy Switch 2. Man, people buy whatever the hell they want. Like you're not going to tell people how to buy and sell, like buy what they want. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to dictate people's money. So like what I would say is just don't buy it. I know I'm not going to buy it because I don't like the key card. So I know I'm not going to be buying them. So yeah.
It was funny on my pre-order stream. I saw like a couple people when I started the very first one that were doing drop the price. And then they just got completely drowned out by everyone else and it never happened again. It was so funny though.
Liam says games may still sell, but do you think the Amiibo brand will survive these prices and will they go back to initial $20 prices if tariffs are axed? I saw that $40 Amiibo and I was like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. We're to
tariffs hit
$40 Amiibos now. I don't know. I haven't really bought an Amiibo in a bit.
I feel like it's going to be variable pricing depending on what the
variable
Amiibo
pricing,
is.
that word again.
Like, unfortunately, I hate that word. Oh, God,
They
we
might
are in the worst
shrink
timeline.
the Amiibo sizes for the next things.
The plastic is slightly thinner. No, I don't know. I don't know. But the thing is, though, in general, with prices for things, they're not going to look at the tariffs, like, and look at the sales, and people are still buying that $40 number. They're not going to just lower the cost for the consumer, like, right off the bat. Like, that's their set price for that. May other ones be cheaper just because how they're having variable pricing being? Maybe. I don't know. But was there a standard price for Amiibo? I don't think so, right?
They've bounced around, haven't they?
It was variable. Depending on the Amiibo. Some of them, like if there was 2 of them in the pack, it might be like $30. Or if it was just one of them, it might be 12 or 13. Or sometimes it was 15. Sometimes it really just kind of bounced. Like if it was like Princess Zelda, the Skyward Sword, it was like there were different prices for them all throughout from back in 2014 all the way up until now. You know,
there were stores that got better though, and they kind of raised the prices as like the newer Amiibos that were a lot better made.
And there were stores that sold them for like wildly cheaper prices than like other places. It was just weird. John, you're muted. John, you're hard muted.
JRPG Twitter really tried to convince themselves and everyone that Xbox was trying to sabotage Clair Obscur with Oblivion, when clearly it's doing more than well and both can exist.
Yeah, I do not think it was a hit attack against another studio. That's really bizarro. It may have been just an unfortunate timing of like when release dates.
It was a hit. No, I'm joking.
It's intentional. No.
Hitman assassination. No,
no,
it was just a coincidence.
Yeah, because like, but that is my nightmare though, having an overlap with like a huge game and then being like, shit.
If I was the Clair Obscur team, I'd be like, this sucks. And I know they're not saying that. They actually did a handshake emoji to Oblivion, but I would be like, if I was them, I'd be like, this sucks, man.
I'm just really curious, like how that scheduling went with their platform partners. Like, I don't know. That's such a bummer. It may have been like the only window for them to fit it in. I don't know. I would love to know those conversations.
Should have worked better on that. That one needs to be communicated between them too.
Yeah, because like,
but we're talking about.
Sorry.
Well, we're talking about Xbox communication, and we're finding out about game pre-order dates from their help desk by randomly asking questions to them because people don't know when they're supposed to say things anymore over there. So, like, there seems to be a lot of communication issues going on over at Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know, because like usually with those things, like when you're planning out, you tell your partners in advance. Obviously, it passes lot check. It's on the horizon, so. I don't know, I'm just curious. Like maybe I would love to know what those conversations look like. And maybe since they're considering them in different categories, it wouldn't be competing. So it wouldn't, but it feels like the audiences are very similar. So they would be competing. I don't know, things I care about. I don't know.
Cybertar says, old man gamer reporting for duty. I remember all of those. Suited for Gaming says, any insight from the group on Game Pass now that we're a few years into it? It's great for exposure, but I'm wondering how financially lucrative it is for third-party devs launching their games there.
You can't really talk about it, but it can be real cool sometimes, depending on what your contract is. But also play the games because that helps the developers too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. So there you go. Yeah, download Clair Obscur. I
think it works for some devs. For some devs, it works. For other devs, it's not. For Grand Theft Auto devs, no. Won't work.
No, yeah,
they're going to sell a bazillion copies. But for a developer like Sandfall for Clair Obscur, it works because it's a new IP. It's a turn-based game, so it works for them. Or even like Metaphor Refantasio, nobody's going to buy that game normally on Xbox, right? People are going to buy it on PlayStation or PC, so it works for them to get a game. Or Persona 3 Reload, it works for them to get an Xbox Game Pass deal. So it's going to be based on the game.
Make your projections if you're a dev out there. Make your projections and negotiate your contracts. Like know your game's worth.
Trinity of the Phoenix says Game Pass version was just patched. It disabled FSR.
What game?
I think he was talking about Oblivion.
I think he's talking about Oblivion, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to fire that back up and check on the Xbox. I've been playing on the PS5 Pro now. Frostbite says, drag it to your companion for Oblivion Remastered. This is a necessary mod. Let's see. Honeypot says, want to switch back in 2022? 09, I was happy but weary at the same time. Switch 2 for 650 Canadian games in the 100 range. I don't know what to feel or do now.
Bolt, we both can win them. I believe in us. I believe in you more because you won an original Switch, and that's fantastic. We can do this.
Henry says, hey guys, been a bit since I've caught the show live. Huge shout out to Jake. You made pre-order night a lot easier and reassuring. Thank you.
Welcome.
Ismail says, thanks to Jake, was able to secure both Target arriving at 11 and Walmart for me and my sister during the stream. And they also don't like Best Buy.
A lot of Best Buy hate. I agree.
I think I was kind of promoting that in my stream a little bit.
Oh, everybody was. Best Buy was ass, bro. They were complete cheats. God, they were garbage.
Peachy says, I got two systems, one bundle, one system only on release. No Walmart all in about an hour. Or Jake was a big help. I will sell when it costs. There you go.
So, I mean, I will say no one take him up on that, and just no one do that. That's like the number one scam I see. And I can't say it enough. Like, the more legit someone seems, the more often I get so many DMs of people that got their money taken from them. So maybe this person had their heart in the right place. Maybe they weren't trying to scam anybody, but like, just if you got more than one, just return it if you don't know someone personally that you can pass it along to.
Okay. Good advice. Andrew says, I did my pre-order today at Walmart at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. They're still out there. Still out there. Mama Life says, not very plugged into gaming, was able to get pre-order one through the Walmart app watching Jake's stream. Took me 1 hour and 40 minutes. Thanks, Jake.
Got it. Nice.
Timothy says, know anything about GameStop Switch 2 TV adapter? I do not.
That was on the accessory list too. It's like one of the dock, basically, like the portable.
Oh, interesting.
Man, I wouldn't trust any type of portable dock, right, or any type of third-party dock until there's tests done.
Somebody's got to test it. There you go. Get that.
But as someone who worked in third party, I would hold off just a little bit.
Oh, John, you good, bro? With all the music you get, you got it, man.
I'm already putting the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 docks. He's trying to burn my house down.
No, it's all you, John.
You got to do the Switch 1 with the third-party Switch 2 docks.
But the original one that did it.
Yeah.
You know what you can do? Order a bunch of line item controllers and test it with it and then see what happens. Sometimes it breaks.
I'm way too lazy to do shit like that. I'll be honest. I'll just not do it.
CDMR says Switch 2 pre-order went live in Amazon Mexico yesterday. Switch 2 bundles cost $750 US and Mario Kart World costs $100. All sold out. Wow. Okay, there you go. Rufflemut said, as long emulation live, retro gaming will never die. All that will be missed is the physical aspect. That's why going full digital doesn't fully bother me, because I have other methods of playing old games.
So the problem with that is right now, yes, the games that we consider retro are available in library. Are there some obscure ones that we don't have access to? Probably. I don't know if there's full collections. But as we move forward, in 20 years, Switch will be considered retro. And in that case, we won't have those games available. So right now, just because it doesn't affect us doesn't mean it won't affect us in the future. This is a ticking time bomb. My heart hopes that physical stays, because that is what the longevity for video game preservation is. Because at the end of the day, video games are entertainment and they are art. Okay, that's my rant. I'll stop yelling at a
20
cloud.
years. So you'll be old by then, right?
Yeah. That's how time works, OJ.
You'll be old. I'm
old right now.
So you're not old now.
I'm in my 30s.
That's not really old.
Okay, fair enough. My bones don't hurt yet.
I do want to point out CMR mentioned the $100 game. I'm not looking forward to that when it comes to the States. GTA 6. Be careful. So Malum says, do you think Resident Evil cloud games will be able to upgrade to regular games? Based on what I've seen Sega do already, probably not.
Capcom, they're not going to do that. They're just going to say, oh, you can just buy it. They're going to release the game. Like, hey, just buy the game now. That's what they're going to do. And I will buy, if they do Resident Evil 4, I am definitely buying Resident Evil 4.
Buy the game key.
Yeah, on the game key, you getting it?
Resident Evil 4 on a
will
game
they add
key.
Mouse controls?
That would be cool.
I'll probably get a review copy for it, so it's like whatever. But like, if I
go in digital,
I wasn't getting a review copy and it was a game key, I mean, I probably would, because I love Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. I have like every copy, every version of Resident Evil 4. I've got it, even the freaking what was it, the VR version?
Oh yeah, the Oculus one. That one's actually good.
Yeah,
Or I'm sorry, the quest. Sorry,
or whatever it is. Yeah, I got MetaQuest 3. I got it on there too. So.
Where he says Best Buy has never let me down. Pre-ordered PS5 way back when, and now I'll Switch 2 within 20 minutes of their pre-orders going live. Great stream, Jake.
I don't care.
Some people have crazy luck with Best Buy like that.
Car says, going against the Best Buy hate, I got my bundle with them after both Walmart and Target canceled my order. Jake, you're my savior.
They started 30 minutes late. They started 30 minutes late.
Let me bring
That's all I got to say.
Some of the questions. I'll go over some of the questions over on the mailbag. Shout out to Joe McKenna, who says, what if all the false leaks and rumors in gaming are controlled from within the industry to figure out who the internal leaks are based on particular misinformation they spread? Sorry, it's a half hour before the show and I didn't have a real question this week, but makes you think.
Classic tinfoil hat theory.
Well, there are times where things will be passed around and just for them to try to figure out where leaks are coming from. This has happened before. And it's kind of funny when it happens because the company knows where it came from and then the person disappears, but it has happened before. I will tell you that. Kale says, what is your dream Switch 2 port?
Dream Switch 2 port.
I'll just say the Master Chief Collection, so we can get all the Halo games there. So all the new generation who's buying the hip and cool system, the Switch 2, they can play all the old people games with Halo. You can start at 1 and you can go all the way up through Reach, play greatness.
And it's not a port, but give me Skies of Arcadia. I'll be down for Skies of Arcadia. Beautiful Joe, Skies of Arcadia. Give me something cool, retro. It's awesome.
Agreed on the retro front. I would love Ocarina of Time's Master Quest. I think that to have more eyeballs on it.
This is from Game Bro, who says, just finished playing Boktai, The Sun is in Your Hands for the first time and really enjoyed it. Do you think it's impossible for a gimmick cartridge series like that to ever get released?
Okay, I have given this thought.
I'm going to say yes, but it's going to be a different reason than Celia, so go ahead.
Well, there's USB-Cs on the top of the Switch too, so they could 100% plug it in.
Thank you. Okay, Evan has my point. It could be something. It would have to be it'd have to be in conjunction with working with NCL on that, which I feel like they totally could re-release it. You just have to go outside with it. The thing is, though, the only issue is that with the dock,
no one on Switch will ever go outside with it.
Okay, you know what I mean. Okay, so the reason for that is that there's a lot of people that have docked play. So what would be the experience for that for those consumers that use that? Because they typically do not like to have it where you can't have its main function be available for both portable as well as in dock. So they would have to figure that out.
So I have good news, Celia.
Press the Z key to be in sunlight.
The plan is to get this 20-foot USB-C extension cable and just run the solar panel that they want you to plug in out the window. That'd be my plan.
That's perfect. I love that.
Never go outside. There you go.
What if you live in a basement, though? Then you get no sun.
Just they send you a UV light, like a tiny one. You just hold it over top of it.
Or get a lizard lamp. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Light,
yeah, because some people, that would be new to people in general, Boktai.
The sun.
Some people are saying they've never heard of it before.
God, it was so cool.
Yeah.
I love that came out.
How much is that cartridge online? I haven't looked in a while. I wonder if it's expensive.
What, you want to look it up?
Yeah, you want to take a look. I'm curious because it is such a gimmick cartridge. The fact that you need to have sunlight on it so that you can power up. What you're.
So you do need a working sensor too. It can't just be the cart itself. Let me see. Sold.
Let's see. Solitech says Claire Obscure looks amazing, plays even better, and seems to be a likely Game of the Year nominee. They say, what do you think is chances at Game of the Year, and then when/if do you think it will come to the Switch or Switch 2? I guess would be the thing. That's a good question because Sandfall, again, we just went over how big of a studio. They're not a big studio. I feel like at this point, they should just be planning to get this game as many places as possible. If Apple wants to sign them on and they can get it on iPads, do that. Get this game everywhere. I don't care.
Yeah, I spoke with one of the developers a while back, and they said they'd love to get it on there. He came through on the stream because we were talking about it. And You know, they don't have many, so I'm not going to say what he does on the game because they don't have many devs that worked on it. But yeah, he said they'd love to have it on there. But obviously, they're a small team, and you know,
it makes a lot of sense to be on the Switch too.
Yeah,
if they can get it there and everything lines up. Yeah, they'd have, I think, another nice little surge again of just sales. You know, so
it's looking like cart is a little over 100, complete in case 200.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one is from Bloody Soma says, "Are game soundtracks a major factor in your enjoyment of a game? If so, what is your favorite game soundtrack?" They say playing Clair Obscur right now, and it needs to win best soundtrack at the Game Awards. And then they say in Game of the Year if it stays this good during the entire playthrough.
Soundtracks are incredible for RPGs.
Yeah.
They are incredibly important. Now, I don't know about shooting games and stuff like that, but for RPGs, you got to have a good soundtrack, man. And my favorite's Chrono Trigger. I think that soundtrack is timeless.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If a soundtrack is done well or just a particular song is done well, it'll stick with you just in general from gaming, especially if it's one that's like super out of place. I remember, and it's funny, there's a level in Halo 2 where you're playing through it, and for some reason, and I still don't even know why this happens, that it's a typical setup where I feel like you're going through part of the city. Anyway, Breaking Benjamin, just a track from their album starts playing.
That's a thing from the time though, because like, what was it? Friggin' Psyops had something from Cold in it. Like they would just play randomly. We had a Here Comes the Boom in that one friggin' football game.
It was the football game. What was that? Oh, what football game was that? It was
every time you would kick off, it was just
every time. What was that?
Speaking of soundtracks.
They patched in the ability to turn that off. I remember that about that game because you couldn't before they patched it.
How rude.
Does the Tony Hawk 3 and 4, does that still have all the same songs as the original?
I didn't see if Blitzkrieg Bop was in there. I didn't see if that was in there.
Didn't the last one they had like some originals, some news or something?
They're still announcing, I think, some of the tracks. Like they're doing like a rollout of announcements for music. So they have a good chunk of it, but there are still some that are missing, and people are a little concerned. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the RPGs though, that's the genre that needs that killer soundtrack.
Final Fantasy VII is still my favorite.
Yep. Let me see.
Rock out to the Witcher 3 soundtrack.
Witcher 3. Go around here. I think someone was mentioning Streamlabs. There are a handful of other super chats here. Let me go around. Jake, thank you for joining us tonight. Where can everyone find you, sir?
Everyone, you can find me on YouTube or Twitter X. Just Jake Randall. Just my name as you see it on screen. And thank you for having me. This was pretty fun.
Listen, if anyone out there needs to get a pre-order and for the Switch 2, you got to check out his stream, especially for the rest of the year as we go towards the holidays. It's going to be kind of crazy. People might just be trying to get them for gifts even, as we get into the holiday season. So you want to follow Jake, Twitter X. He apparently has a bot that he's retweeting as well. I guess follow that and check him out on his streams.
He's a real guy. He's in the chat. I don't want to call him a bot, but yeah.
You don't know, man. You don't
may or may not be a bot. We're not sure yet. We don't know.
He's a bot.
May or may not be. Okay. But yeah, Jake he does a lot of the streaming during pre-order drops and stuff, especially if they're scheduled ahead of time. I don't know. Have you jumped on stream randomly when a pre-order drop just happened?
Yeah. Sometimes if I'm ready to go, especially like if a place like Walmart drops where they're going to be live for so long, now that we've kind of seen that, the next time it happens, I'll just hop on stream if I can.
Okay. There you go. So keep an eye on Jake's count over there. Definitely follow him. This is from Mighty Muffin, who says, will there be a Spawncast at too many games this year? That is the plan. It's all coming together right now.
I wonder if they'll get the audio thing right, or if we're going to have people asking questions and none of us can hear them again.
It'll probably be that one.
Yeah.
Unreal Christian says, Walmart for the win. Secure Mine pre-orders went live. Hey, John. Hey, OJ. Shout out to Unreal Christian. Good to hear that you got that Switch 2 pre-order in. Celia, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm Celia B with 3 E's. You can also listen to Josie, Sean, and I on Game and Talk. It's our Nintendo focused podcast. Yeah.
It's from Manny, who says, have they mentioned Violet Scarlet upgrade? We're shooting for 900p at 30 frames. All right.
They
Not
did.
getting crazy out here.
Can't wait for the game to work.
they did mention it. It's all there. There's actually a page you can go to. If you just type in Nintendo Switch 2 free game updates, it'll be one of the first pages. Nintendo has a list of about 12 games that'll get upgraded.
Quest for Glory Gamer says Switch 1 cannot dock and Switch 2 dock and vice versa because of different voltage requirements for both systems. So don't test your systems either. Well, Celia has already asked me to.
Okay.
So that's voltage, but not shape. So what you're saying is you could, but there will be problems.
I am not legally responsible for whatever happens.
You are legal. You actually are legally responsible.
No, I said if you.
I am talking. Where's my lawyer? I'm calling my lawyer right now. His ass don't do much, but try to get a little bit.
Suited for Gaming says, OJ, you know you'll be hunting achievements when, not if, when Nintendo implements them.
Nintendo already implements achievements in their games, and I don't hunt for that shit. So, I mean, like, no. Like, I stopped hunting for achievements a long time ago.
If the Xeno series had achievements, would you go
It does. Xeno X has achievements that pop up.
How many of them do you have percentage-wise?
There's like 200 of them, so I don't have a lot of them percentage-wise. There's like 200. I stopped hunting achievements a long time ago. This whole
like
Nintendo does it. You're going to do it. That bullshit is stupid. I play games that I like, and that's that. I don't really... It don't matter to me.
The only time that's ever mattered to me was what DC Universe Online, where it gave you skill points to do the achievements for your character. That was the best implementation of achievements ever.
I did do achievement hunting and stuff in Astral Chain because you do get stuff.
Yeah,
so
when you actually get shit.
Yeah, if you actually get things, it don't matter if it's Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. Like it don't matter. I don't like to sit there and do a bunch of arbitrary shit for nothing. Like it doesn't matter to me, and it hasn't mattered in a decade plus.
Edwin says, OJ, don't sleep on Resident Evil 4 Zeebo Edition.
Zeebo Edition. Okay.
Zeebo Edition. Just making sure you know. Yeah, I got to look that up and see what you're missing out on. There you go.
I'm not going to.
Frostbite says, I'd bring back Phantasy Star Online for GameCube with online play, please. I need this in 4K.
We need the keyboard.
That would be pretty awesome. Jay says, no, Yote. We talked about earlier with the release date, and GTA 6, of course, gets brought up in that. That's everything there. What about OJ? Sir, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I just did a big video on Claire Obscure Expedition 33, talking about, no spoiler, beginning of the game, how good it is, chances for Switch 2, other stuff like that. So went over, had my full captured gameplay from PS5 Pro. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. And I also did a bunch of other videos talking about different stuff with Nintendo Switch 2 and RPGs stuff. So I got a lot of cool stuff planned for this upcoming week. Got a lot of streams planned as well with Switch 2 and pre-orders and going over all the different news and information. So if you're into Switch 2, if you're into RPG content, check out the channel, Player Essence, right here on YouTube.
What about Evan?
You can find me on socials and YouTube at Kimrick's Project. If you're into tabletop stuff, hobby work, strategy talk, we're going over a good bit. I got a couple of videos in the pipe, so I was just waiting for kind of an update, but that didn't happen, so I don't know what the hell is going on. We'll see.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for the podcast tonight. Spawncast 411 in the books. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll see you guys then.
Shout outs to Rax. He was here in the chat.